Welcome to another week, ladies and gentlemen. The boys are back on YouTube for another week of Beers and Sports Podcast. Um, Not a lot going on in terms of college football and other stuff, but there's a lot going on in other sports. So, first, we are going to start with talking about Jason's birthday. Happy birthday, bud. It was yesterday.
Thanks.
How was the game?
They lost in OT.
Lost and say, hey, you brought home a point.
Anaheim, Columbus had the lead with just over 2.5 minutes left. They were up 3-2. Anaheim pulled the goal in about 5 seconds later, scored to tie it. And then Columbus they had a couple good shots in overtime, and then Anaheim got on a break, and it was game over.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, I went to the Caps game last night with the boys, with a few of the guys from work. So that was a lot of fun. But hell yeah, happy birthday. How old are you now? 6 or 7?
5.
5?
Reading level's at a 6 now.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, your reading level goes up a half grade level every year.
I can spell Ohio.
I'd hope so. Jesus Christ is the only change your fans know.
That's because it's awesome.
That's all they say.
I've
that is
been
their
looking
chant.
at tickets for the game Saturday. They got down to 187 apiece before fees, and I am strongly considering it.
I wouldn't strongly
I'm not-
consider it. I would just go. But I'm also a
I'm
terrible
thinking
influence
about it.
in terms of that
Yeah.
stuff, so.
The problem is
I'm-
I know I'm going to spend some money on the stadium series if we go.
Yeah.
So it's really pick either one, and I think Nessa's trying to go out with one of her friends that night, so it might have to be the DD. So I'm not trying to curb, her plans.
Fair enough.
And it'll be
Fair
like $500 for 2 tickets because I'm not going by myself. I'm going to take my dad or Bobby, but I
Yeah.
don't think Bobby can go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to take out a mortgage for Notre Dame's playoff game.
Yeah, dude, it's
and
fucking
freeze my
insane.
and freeze my ass off while doing it.
I don't
No
have a
thanks.
problem about the cold. I don't have a
Yeah,
problem with the cold. It's a
I'm
matter
going
of
to warm
taking out
up
a fucking
after
loan.
the 10 beers that I'm going to drink. I mean, the problem
Is
I
Notre
have
Dame's
is
game
well,
still
paying
over
for
at
it.
1,000?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, they sold out within like 5 minutes. All the secondary markets are reselling them.
Oh dear God.
Yeah.
That's
Well, and the problem with
phenomenal.
Ohio State's was one of the dumbasses that are season ticket holders leaked the pre-sale code.
Yep.
So not only did Ohio State fans get the pre-sale, but Tennessee fans got the pre-sale. So we're going
God,
to
it's
see.
gnarly.
I don't think it's going to be as many Tennessee fans as what they're thinking. I mean, that's still kind of a haul from Knoxville to Columbus. So we'll see. Plus, Ohio State fans are going to ball out. It's the
Mhm.
day, a few days before Christmas, playing a playoff game. You wanted the
Yep.
SEC team, but we'll talk more about matchups and everything when we get to college
Yep.
football.
So before we get to the college, in between the lines in college, in between the sticks, on the college end, we're going to go on the hardwood in college basketball. Things developing right now. Got a lot of changes in the rankings, a lot of upsets all around. Some teams we didn't think that be there are there. They might be pretenders, but it's fun to watch. There might be teams up at the top that aren't as good as what we thought they were at the beginning. Jason, take us through this because the season is starting to kind of form into what we thought, and just before, the mass amounts of conference play starts.
Yeah, I mean, we had a few conference games. Like Monday night, looking through the games, there's not a whole lot of good games. You
Yeah.
had Indiana, Minnesota, I would say was the best game. Chance your Hoosiers came away with the win in their one of their early conference games, which I think Minnesota is going to be decent this year. I don't think this is the Minnesota team of the last few years. So I think that's a huge win for Indiana early in conference play. Then you look at Tuesday, you had a couple of ranked teams go down. Number 14 Michigan lost by 2 to unranked Arkansas in the Jimmy V Classic. Michigan has really come out and shown that, they're kind of back to their old ways. They've had their good teams throughout the years, had a really, really bad year last year. I think they're going to be back. I think the Big Ten in general, when you look at the teams and some of the games they've played, the Big Ten has never been a conference to shy away from big-time matchups against other Power Fives. It's just never been that way, and this year is no different. You're seeing a lot of Big Ten schools play these big-time Power Five schools, and I love it. I say Power Five in basketball because I put the Big East as a power conference. We lost the Pac-12, but I think the Big East becomes that fifth power conference, and I don't think there's much debate from those of us. Hey, Diener.
Hey, how's it going?
I was sorry to say, we got a special guest on the show.
Sorry,
so
boys.
We'll go ahead, introduce him before we. Before I keep.
We got a special guest this week on the show. This man played baseball with us at school. Big Cincinnati Bears guy. Huge.
Bearcats,
all around
baby.
Cincinnati. Bearcats, baby all day. As you can tell by the get-up he's got going on right now. Big Fly Eagles fly, which they are flying right now against Bobby Steelers.
Fact.
Welcome to the show, Dean. How's it going, buddy?
Dude, I'm glad to be on. I'm glad to be on.
Hell yeah,
man.
What did we talk about this? Not even a week ago that you wanted to be on, and we got you on that quick.
Hey, I love it.
Yeah, the waiting list for this show is just packed. We got so many guests lined up. We're still waiting on a phone call from Sydney Sweeney. She hasn't responded yet. Serena Carpenter's still on the works. But we'll get there when it...
Hey, if you get her on, I want to be on too.
Oh, 100%. Apparently she's engaged now too. That's found that one out. Probably hasn't responded.
Yeah, and the minute we heard Dean's name pop up on the guest list, we were like, we got to put him to the front of the line there. Like, you got to cut the line here.
Hey, I'm honored, boys. I'm honored.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah. So there's no plan to this. There's a rough plan of how we do this show. So just stick with us. Right now we're going through the college basketball hardwood right now.
Okay.
Jason is going through trying to convince the world. He has been on a tear convincing the world that the Big East needs to be a Power 5 conference while dealing with the static in his microphone that he's been dealing with all night.
The AirPods. It wasn't working through my laptop, so we had to go to the AirPods.
Yeah, okay. Low budget operation right now. We're working on it. Continue where you were saying.
I will hop on Jason real quick. Talk about Big East. Do we need to pull up my Bearcats receipts last
Dude,
night?
The Bearcats basketball is back, baby. I was getting to the Bearcats. Dude, the Bearcats have been insane. Them and Dayton, the two teams, I was high on Drake coming in, but I think I'm switching my two at-large bids here that I think will make deep runs to Cincinnati and Dayton.
Yeah.
Good picks.
I think that when you look at those two schools, Dayton's got a win over Marquette and a win over UConn. Like, those aren't two bad schools. And these Bearcats over here are pretty much saying, hey, fuck this Big 12 bullshit. We come in and run this shit outside of Kansas. Like,
yep.
That's what they're coming in and making a statement early, and I fucking love it. Because anytime the Ohio schools can go out and show people, hey, keep an eye on us, it's fun.
Yeah. Uh-oh. TJ walking off the field. That's not good.
Spoken like a true Bearcat fan.
Now, speaking about the Bearcats and the Flyers.
He roots for them, don't lie.
Speaking of the Bearcats and the Flyers here, these two teams match up on Friday night this week. It's going to be a hell of a basketball game in Dayton.
I'm only a hop and skip away. So
somebody's making a trip.
Hey, be careful though. Those tickets for Dayton Marquette were going for like $1,000 a piece. So
I might be in Dayton. That's all I'm saying.
Meaning he's going to be at the bar next door to the game because he ain't paying no $1,000 to get into that game. No, sir.
Dean, you're in luck. They're at $44 right now.
Whoa.
That's a steal.
Okay. Get that now. Lock it in. Absolutely. Oh, my.
A show with Dean live at a basketball game with beers in his hands? Oh, God, that would be something. That would be something. With Bearcats involved.
That would be rowdy.
Maybe about 15 times in the first 20.
I can't confirm nor deny any of that.
But going back before we had to introduce our very special guest, the Big Ten shaping up to be a really good conference again. We did have another upset on Tuesday night. Let me go back because I had to pull up the Bearcats there. Tuesday night we had Illinois unranked taking down number 20 Wisconsin. Wisconsin having a good year with Illinois. I think is showing them back after a few down years. So we'll see how those two shape up in the Big Ten. Nothing really to write home about on Wednesday night. Not a whole lot going on. But Thursday night, Iowa State, Iowa. We had a big game there. Iowa State coming out ahead, 89-80. I wish I could have watched this game. I didn't have a chance to, but when you look at Iowa, I think a team projected to be within the top, 5 or 6 of the Big Ten, taking on the number 3 team in the country, shaped up from the beginning to be a really good matchup, especially, the Cy-Hawk rivalry. Iowa State showing that they're more than just a football school, too. I'm talking about some of these schools and, showing out in different sports. And then Friday, again, nothing really to write home about. Saturday was the day for college basketball. Sadly, Ohio State looked like they were a mid-major team, lost 91-53 to Auburn. Not a great game shooting. Good news for Ohio State, they are getting their Kentucky transfer center back. Bradshaw was out for a possible domestic issue. Currently on track to be back. No timetable yet. I'm hoping Tuesday against Valpo. I can see what the offense will look like now that they got him back. But we'll have to wait and see there. Memphis, unranked, taking down number 16 Clemson in overtime. I watched a little bit of this game before the Ohio State-Auburn game, and I think Memphis is a team that's going to make some noise coming out of the American. The American is usually okay at basketball. They've got a few teams here and there, but I think with Memphis and the way that they're playing, they're finally playing up to what we thought they were going to be when Penny Hardaway took over. I mean, when Hardaway took over, everybody expected Memphis to be right at the top, and they really haven't been there really since Derrick Rose was there, which is, God, makes us sound really old, but that's been a while. Since D. Rose is at Memphis. But they're on the up and up. Keep an eye out for them. Texas A&M, another huge win over a Big Ten team, taking down number 11 Purdue. And then Cincinnati, huge rivalry win over them Xavier Musketeers. Diener, how do we feel about that one? I know that's a huge rivalry.
What's that? I didn't hear that part.
Cincinnati.
A little staticky.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm going to work on it here in a minute. Xavier and Cincy. Cincy coming out on top. How are we feeling about that one?
Hey, it's been a long time coming. I think that was to stop a 5-year losing streak to them. I think that's what it was. At least the last 5 matchups has been in the L category for Cincinnati. So I like what Wes is doing down there, man. It's fun to watch. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm more of a football guy, but when we get coaches in there that inspire people that like me. I put on basketball kind of for background noise sometimes, but now I'm kind of buying into it because I'm like, man, I like the product that I see on the field, and since he historically they kind of just all their any athletic program that you're talking about, it's just that gritty, uh, die hard, just kind of we're not always at the top, but we're gonna give it the best that we got, and
Hmm.
just kind of scrap across wins in all major sports. I feel like, um, and it's it's great. It's great for the city. Um, it's great for the university. I'm looking for great things coming their way here pretty soon. Um, a little bit just about how far they've come in all their sports. When I became a fan back in '09, they were in the Big East, and now they're in the Big 12. You would have told me that 10 years ago, man, I wouldn't even believe you. I would have laughed in your face. Um, so it's great. I hope that joining the Big 12 really puts them on a platform that they can express their or expand their brand. And
Hmm.
man, I don't know if you guys saw pictures from that game yesterday, but those jerseys that they were rocking, whew, since he looks good in Air Jordan stuff, man, it's
Yep.
great. It's great.
The other thing too with Cincinnati, looking ahead, they just got, I believe, a 5-star and a 4-star commit in basketball
Yes.
for next year. Like this isn't going away.
No.
Cincinnati has found a way to put themselves right in the conversation for college basketball, and I think it's great.
Yeah. I mean that's the only national championship in the major three male sports that they have there. Baseball, football, basketball. And it was around like the '60s when last time they
Oscar
were.
Robertson.
Yeah, yeah. So been a minute to say the least, and no, it's cool. I listen to a lot of different people out there, and it's just there's a buzz going on around there, and it makes it fun. It makes it fun, and like you mentioned earlier, I'm all Ohio teams, man, and even the smaller schools like Cincinnati, when they start making a run and making things exciting, it makes basketball better. It makes March Madness better. So
Especially when you get, I mean, Columbus hosts a ton and Cleveland hosts a ton, and obviously you get the first four in Dayton. Like, everybody thinks of Indiana as like the major Midwest basketball state, but I feel like it's still alive and well in Ohio.
yeah,
So, and Cincinnati's playing into it this year for sure.
and I can agree with Indiana loves their basketball though. I'm not gonna lie. Uh, Working over there now, man, that's all my coworkers talk about. Me, I was trying
Yep.
to talk football with them. They wanted nothing to do with it. Basketball, they're on that. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
But looking at a few of the other games we had on Saturday, we had number 20 Wisconsin was looking for a bounce back, taking on Butler. Speaking of indie schools that bring basketball to light there in Hinkle Fieldhouse, Wisconsin got the huge win, 83-74. Butler's had a decent year to start. I think they're still looking to grow a little bit. Obviously, they haven't been the Butler that we kind of grew up watching with Gordon Hayward making the Final Four and all that. So, we're waiting to see them kind of grow back to what we're used to seeing from Butler. But a good step in the right direction, playing a good team and playing them close. And then UCLA, they were 24th in the country, beat Arizona by 3. Huge game there, old Pac-12 matchup. Now both teams obviously deciding they want to play in completely different conferences, but I'm excited to see what these new teams bring to their new conferences. I think Arizona in the Big 12 can bring a lot, and I think UCLA in the Big 10 can bring a lot. So we'll see what both of those teams can bring. Kentucky got a huge win over Louisville. And then the final game that I was looking at yesterday was number 1 Tennessee took down Illinois. And I guess one more. I forgot this one was yesterday. UConn bouncing back, getting a huge win over Gonzaga in a big-time top 25 matchup. So we'll see what both of those teams can do bouncing back as we get into conference play.
Hey, real quick, Jason, did you hear what UConn's coach said I think it was like a week and a half ago with, they asked him about how the team had been played since the tournament. Did you see what he said about
he
that?
Said he wasn't going to play in another one, which is dumb. I mean, you played in the Maui. That's the best tournament out there preseason. Like, yeah. You've got to go in expecting these teams are going to be tough, and you sit there and whine and cry about the fact that you lost a game or two. Like, come on now.
That's I think it's one of the most competitive and close and tight it's been since, God, a few years ago. But, like, every team but one was ranked going in. You know, like, I mean, this isn't just some tournament to make your team look good. I mean, if you win it all, if you win the Maui tournament, then you're looking phenomenal. You're great. But, I mean, you're the back-to-back national champions. Like, there's a standard now that you have to live up to. And to go out and say that's like, well, hold on. You're not just some run-of-the-mill team making your first little run at a ranked season, potentially going to the March Madness. You're the team. Everyone's shooting for you. You're going to get everybody's best, especially because you won back-to-back, right? Like, you're going to get everybody's best. You're not gonna dominate this year. You're just not. Your team's not ready for that.
No, you've got that target on your back. You've got to come out ready to go no matter what team you're playing. I have lost a lot. I like Dan Hurley from what he does on the floor, but when I look at what he does towards the officials is what makes me upset. Because you want to sit there and bitch and complain your team's losing, but what are you doing to help when all you're doing all game is screaming at officials? Like, you've got to cool it down. You're not earning any calls for your team. That's for damn sure. Like, but we'll see what they can do in the Big East. The Big East is tough this year in basketball. Alabama took down Creighton this week. I mean, Alabama's got a good team. Creighton, they're no snub. They're going to find their way back into the top 25. They always do. They're going to be a top 5 seed in the NCAA tournament. But, we'll see what the Big East offers for UConn because everybody's coming for them. I mean, and the Big East is having one of its best starts ever as a conference through the non-con games. I mean, it's kind of like the Big Ten. At one point we had talked college basketball, and the Big Ten had one team with more than one loss, and now they've got a few more. But again, these teams aren't coming at you light. They're coming to take you down. You're the defending champs. You've got to expect their best.
Yeah.
But looking ahead to this week a little bit, Tuesday night, we get a pretty good game. It is the Jumpman Invitational. Number 9 Florida takes on North Carolina. Kind of an interesting matchup we don't get to see very often. Be something to definitely watch on a Tuesday night. And then you get the Palmetto State rivalry. South Carolina at Clemson at South Carolina. Clemson, the ranked team in this one. If it's anything like the football game, this is going to be one hell of a game. The football game was a hell of a game this year, but we'll see what we get from them. And then, that really wraps it up on Tuesday. We don't get a whole lot this week. The good thing is we do start to get more Big East basketball matchups. On Wednesday, Xavier travels to UConn. Butler travels to Marquette. And those are the two Big East games that night. And then we get a ranked matchup to end the night. the other game in the Jumpman Invitational, number 13 Oklahoma takes on number 14 Michigan. Should be a pretty good game there with the way that both of those teams have started. Definitely the Jumpman Invitational definitely has a pretty good lineup this year with those two games. Then we look ahead to Thursday. Not a whole lot to write home with there. We get probably our shitter of the week. New Orleans 2-7 travels to Texas, who's 9-2. So Dean, shitter of the week. We started it during college football.
Okay.
It's a little bit tougher early with basketball, but it's the worst game of the week.
Ooh.
And we talk about it a little bit. We ended up with Charleston Southern and Florida State as our college football shitter of the week 1 week.
Ooh.
Because they were both one-win teams.
Yeah.
I believe 3 straight weeks we ended up with a matchup where both teams had more combined penalty yards than their leading rusher.
Oh, that definitely falls under that category then, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I try to pick one game in the college ranks a week, and obviously with football, you're not getting any really bad matchups right now. But
can we have a shit opinion for the week or no?
Sure, go ahead.
We're gonna hop back on to college football. Hot take here. Don't think Travis Hunter should have won the Heisman. I'm gonna be.
Oh Jesus! No, he shouldn't have.
I'm gonna be.
Here we go. Here's the conversation.
Yeah, let's just lean into it. Let's just go right into it.
Let's segue right into it.
College basketball is kind of wrapped up. I mean, There's a few good games later in the week, but we'll go to football because
there's the elephant in the room right now.
Talk about
Yeah, this is the elephant in the room for sure. So, if you're living under a rock, last night was a Heisman ceremony, and Travis Hunter won it, while also piling the Defensive Award of the Year, and then also the Wide Receiver of the Year. I'm gonna let y'all go before I say my piece, because I'm gonna say what y'all probably gonna say. So, hey, Chance, buddy, you've been silent. Travis Hunter winning over Ashton.
Let's start with this. I got a question for you, Chance. I don't know how much you saw stat-wise of this, but the Biletnikoff, right? We want to give it to the top receiver. Why the fuck didn't the guy from San Jose State?
Yeah, he won the Triple Crown.
Yeah, how the hell?
It's because he plays at San Jose State. That's why.
I really don't care where he plays. The guy was first in every major category for a wide receiver in the country.
I know you hate to hear this name, but the last two-way player to win this award was Charles Woodson in '97. He beat Randy Moss and
Fremont,
Peyton
Ohio,
Manning.
by the way, born and raised. Graduated my aunt. Just want to put that in there. Shout out.
And he did special teams when he won the Heisman. He was punt return and kickoff return. But I get the Heisman is going to the most outstanding player, and it's not really like an MVP-based award, but I think it has to kind of look at it that way, because you take Ashton Genty away, they're probably five-win team.
Yeah, they're definitely not the number 3 seed in the playoff.
Yeah, they're not getting a bye this week.
He accounted for over 50% of their total offensive yards.
Yeah. And he sat out 18 quarters. That's the crazy part, is he would have ran through every rushing record known. Yeah, he would have ran through any record you probably would have given to him. But he sat for 18 quarters of football.
And I might have looked way too into this, but I didn't go back and watch previous Heisman speeches, but I feel like Travis Hunter is the only Heisman speech I've ever heard not to congratulate the other members that were there. I don't know.
But
you've been doing
Heisman
that.
Speeches, they congratulate the other 3 for being there on tremendous seasons. It just show kudos to your competitors in this award. Didn't hear one thing about it.
Nope.
The speech was mainly made for himself.
That was
I've
the
never
culture.
seen a speech as bad. as
That
that
was
speech was.
the culture created in Colorado right now is that right there.
Yeah, and you heard he went on a podcast and how he's not playing in the bowl game. How they
He's
have to
been on the
pay him $5
podcast.
million.
He was on the podcast before me.
He
No,
went
not
on
this.
ours. He
Not
wouldn't
on
survive
ours.
this podcast. I've written him a new one.
Hey, right in the middle,
He
you
went on
had
some podcast.
sitting on that couch wearing Ohio State. You probably have the top 5 hater of Colorado football in the country right now. Right there, that man right there.
I hate the way
It's
Deion
Deion.
Sanders went about the whole thing. Love Deion as a player, right? As a football player. As a baseball player, he's no better than fucking Miles Straw. But when you look at him as a coach, I mean, the first thing he said to these guys when they got there is, yeah, if you weren't one of my guys, you might as well hit the portal. Like, that's fucked up. These guys earned the right to be there. Yeah, they went 1-11. Kent State went 0-12. I guarantee you that new coach isn't kicking every single one of those players out.
Well,
it just shows too is like, okay, let's think about just coaching as a whole. It's easy. My job is easy when I have a bunch of talent. I don't have to. I can kind of set aside some coaching aspects and just let the kids play when I have talent.
Yeah.
Now, if he would have went and he took that 1-11 team, and even his first year, they won like 5 games, 6 games,
4 games, like
5,
that.
4.
They went
Yeah.
4-8.
4 or 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did something.
So if you do that, I'm like, okay, I'll give you some props for that. You turn a 1-5 or 1-11 team into 4 or 5 wins. Okay, we're making progress here. And then do what they did this year. Okay, but to just go and just grab. But I mean, I understand that. I might sound like an old head for saying that, but like, this is what college football is now, and I think that's why you see. That's why you see like Nick Saban stepping away, and he's like, I'm not letting this change my legacy, and I can't keep up, and it's sad. It sucks because he's doing an incredible job on ESPN. I'm not gonna lie, but
yeah, he's phenomenal. Love
I
listening to
really
him.
wish he was still coaching.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, while we're on the topic of coaching, because this is kind of crazy, and it's definitely not on my bingo card for this college football offseason.
Nope.
Anybody else see Bill Belichick taking a job at in college
No.
ever?
I heard it was
like-
to get his son the head coaching job when he's done.
Yeah, this feels like a 1 year and
Free
he's done.
tuition.
He signed 3 years, $30 million.
Yeah, I could see this being a 3-year absolute dumpster fire. Mind you,
Yep, and
North
Or
Carolina.
national championships. 3 straight national championships. Who knows?
North Carolina for
I mean, I would
ACC
wanna go
champions
play
next
for
year.
Belichick.
Look out.
But if you listen to what Bill Belichick had to say, he wasn't talking about we're going to be a powerhouse. All he talked about was developing guys to be good, to understand the NFL lifestyle, pretty much. That's all he was doing. So the draw that he's going to get is he's going to get kids that are pretty talented, but their highlight reel and all this stuff isn't going to blow off the charts. Like, they're not going to be the most flashiest team,
Nope.
but they'll run a pro-like offense and have defensive schemes that the NFL uses, and they'll be pretty average, middle of the pack ACC team. That's all I see.
This feels like an ACC team that's going to win 7-8 games, get a couple bowl games, and then you're going to see like 12, 15 of their guys get drafted because NFL coaches are like, we want him because he looks pro ready now, and it's going to be
will
like
fit the scheme.
I see a lot of
fit the
people
scheme.
transferring to North Carolina.
Yeah, I could too.
Yeah.
Especially a lot of.
Fly Eagles fly, baby. Love you, Bobby.
Okay. We're in the playoffs, so I don't care.
That's true.
I'm just hoping TJ Watt isn't really hurt. That makes me nervous.
Yeah, I saw him walk off. That was nervous. That was nerve wracking.
You think you were nervous? How do you think I fucking feel?
Oh, I bet you feel.
Whoa.
Just,
Wait. We can cuss on this thing?
oh, buddy.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah,
you can say whatever the hell you want.
You have
Chances on here.
Heard some comments that would get us kicked off. God.
You haven't heard Chance let
You've
it
not
fly.
been here for when I let it fly. I let it fly sometimes.
Chance almost gets us canceled.
Oh,
buddy.
How's all you have
talking about the bowl games?
How's
The
all you
Music
have
City
Georgia
Bowl?
a hat?
Because that's
What's
all I
that?
have right now. Chance isn't even wearing college
How?
Well, the Packers
Yeah,
play
but his
in
team
about
plays-
15
And the Packers
minutes.
play, dude. So I'm gonna be changing out of that. No, I don't have much Georgia stuff yet. I'm working on that. I have
You got
more
an
pro
orange
stuff than I
jumpsuit?
do. Huh?
So shout out
You have an
to
orange
the
jumpsuit?
listeners. Shout out to the listeners.
Cross, I like that.
We need
I
to
like
get
that.
Billy some gear. Send
Yeah,
him
I
some
need
like
some
that
gear.
little-
I need some
I
Georgia
sent
gear.
him a
like the
couple
short-
Christmas presents. He just hasn't, he doesn't enjoy them.
Cross, I like the long sleeve hoodie.
guy.
I thought I'd worn this around you before. I thought I'd donned this one.
I think
this
you
one
were-
I got when
you
I
were
was
to-
working at Rally House.
You wore that to the basketball
what?
game, I think.
I'll take the hat.
Oh,
off.
you worked at Rally House and you didn't invite me?
I used to. It was a shit show.
Hurt my feelings, Cross. Damn.
You got barbecue back there?
Oh man.
No,
They'll
Dean,
forever
you
be
should have heard
legendary.
what Chance had to say last week when we were going over the bowl games. The one bowl game is the Trans Perfect Music City Bowl, and I really thought that Chance's head was going to explode because I told him not to say what he was thinking at first.
Dude on the inside.
Yeah,
They have a
that's
what?
a real name.
He
Yeah,
did what in his cup?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cross, send me an invite.
Perfect.
Bowl games this year, that's a sore subject for me. My Bearcats were 5-1 at one point and beat Arizona
Hey,
State.
we were.
And the absolute
Don't even
collapse.
go there. Don't even go with a collapse.
Oh, Satterfield, if I ever meet that dweeb in person, and Luke Fickle, if you're listening, for some odd reason, we have open invite for you to come back to Cincinnati. You can
Yep.
leave that dumpster fire that's going on in Wisconsin right now. Come back to the promised land, baby. That's all I'm saying.
Yep. How about West Virginia?
Oh, don't eat. That's another rivalry.
Getting there.
game.
Yeah, that's a swear word. Don't bring them up.
Yeah. What are we doing?
I
don't talk-
knew,
we don't
I knew
talk
that was
about
gonna
that.
get. I knew that was gonna get. Damn. Bobby's feeling it right now. His
I mean, I don't-
Steelers lost today.
Out of
And he's gotta
bragging
do
rights,
it.
my college team has bragging rights because they beat Jason's school and Dean's school.
Okay. Eat shit, Pitt. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, you want to talk about a collapse? We were 7-0 and didn't win a game the rest of the year.
That's true.
You know what's a collapse? That Pitt game, we were up 27-3, I think,
Yeah, you were.
at halftime. So,
And
yeah. Bad.
yeah, I was
at
at Eldora trying to watch it on my phone while I was tailgating.
Eldora, nice.
Well, you were at the world famous boob competition?
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
I had
while
the
he's at
game
the
on my
booth
phone.
competition. Yes, that is a
Look at
real
Luke's
thing.
go.
I was
That's a
sitting
real thing.
I was standing there. I gave a fist bump. The dude's like, "Do you like those?" I'm like, "No, Pitt just scored." Like those were like 5 at best.
As one does, Bobby. That's my man. Okay.
Watching a Pitt football game at a boob contest while at
No, I had the speaker playing. I had my phone in my pocket. I was listening to the broadcast.
Hell yeah. We all do that, right?
Ross, send me
We're
an
all in
invite.
that kind of. We're all kind of in that. We've all been there, right?
Dude, I'm a teacher. I got the whole Saturday off. I'm sitting. I'm chilling.
Yeah, Dean's off weekends. He loves that, I bet.
Shit, hell yeah.
Dean, you got to go with Bobby to the boob contest next time.
I'm just gonna not.
You didn't miss anything. You didn't miss much.
Really? In Eldora, I figured there'd be some
Yeah,
knives hanging out.
Yeah, but they're not the ones you want.
Oh.
No,
Yeah. They're
bummer.
the ones you want are in the stands watching. They're not in the actual contest itself. They're the ones.
No, this was it like 1:00.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
So not everyone had enough beer in the systems yet.
See, that's just poor planning. That's
See,
just
now,
very poor
that's
planning.
gonna make me throw up, and I don't want to do that.
No
The
relevant
IC lights. The IC lights were flowing good during the Steeler game, though.
I bet they were. Ah, man, oh
There's
man.
something here to get my.
Hey,
I was kind of
another
hoping to see
coaching
Kenny
topic
Pickett at
here.
one point.
Anybody else see what happened at Marshall?
Yeah,
Were
25
they
players are
back?
transferring out. Why can't they do that in
Yeah,
the video
'cause
game?
They
Assholes.
didn't
Chance
fucking,
loses.
yeah.
Chance loses
all
100
go to
trips to Marshall.
God.
How do you win a conference championship at Marshall and not extend the head coach?
And you get fed to Georgia
Like-
game 1 next year. Good luck, boys.
They
Ah,
don't, never
that's
mind, I'm
rough.
not
Marshall
gonna say it. I was
plays
gonna say
Georgia?
something.
Pretty lateral
Marshall plays
move,
Georgia?
too. SBC to SBC? That was weird.
I almost said something,
What
but never mind.
Wait, time out. Why does
Usually
Marshall
Georgia
play
looks-
Georgia?
They always get those, like, cupcake.
Usually it's the end of the year.
We play Tennessee
I
game
know.
3. I don't want to hear this cupcake schedule having
Yeah, but
nonsense.
you don't
Oh.
make that schedule. The conference does.
Yeah.
I know. Georgia Tech is a powerhouse, dude.
Oh. You want to talk about just like 4 hours of sweating my ass off sitting here watching that game till 12:30 in the morning? Buddy.
Yeah.
I was hammered watching that game.
Same.
I
We're
was
drinking a nice little garage beer right
I was
now,
at a
too.
hockey game. Hey, shout out to Garage Beer, too. Kelsey Brothers. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Kelsey
Those
brothers.
things are delicious.
As I'm drinking a
Cincinnati
C4.
alone.
Bearcats royalty.
Fact.
Cross, send me an invite.
Alright.
Right
We
now.
had game of the week this week, boys. America's game was last weekend.
I do have a topic on college football eventually too.
I also
We'll
have
get
a
there.
very
We'll get
interesting
there.
question.
I'm very
here we
pissed
go.
off about the Heisman vote.
Oh, yeah.
We
We,
never
were
finished
breaking that
that
down.
a
We
little
never
bit.
finished
Yeah.
that.
Okay, let's continue on with that. Might as
Vinci
well.
should have won it.
Tennessee
Yeah.
should have won the Heisman, hands down. I saw
Yeah.
they had a stat. They showed the stats of all the running backs that have won the Heisman, I think, since 2000. He had, I think it was like 400 more yards than all of them. Travis Hunter didn't lead a single category in either offense or defense. They had to put a little stat for him of snaps played
Might
because
have
he
to
was
repeat
first.
that.
Who, me?
Well, no,
No,
Ross.
Jason.
It's not even a rocket ship.
Oh
They
man.
had to put a
Yeah.
little. They had to put a little stat up there about snaps played because Travis Hunter led that category. That was the only one.
Yeah, whatever.
He
As
wasn't
one
his
does
team's
that plays
best
both sides.
receiver or D-back. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this felt very media driven.
It was because did you see who the people he brought with him were?
Not his family.
Well,
No, he
Wayne,
brought Dion and Shador for publicity.
Now, I don't know his family situation, so that's not for me to
True.
kind of comment on. But
I
everyone
get
else
that, yeah.
had their family there, you know. And he had Dion, his fiance, I believe, and whoever else the other lady was. Guessing that's Dion's
mom.
new squeeze, or his mom. I don't know.
that's,
but-
Travis Hunter's mom.
His mom could
Travis
be
Hunter's
Dion's
mom.
fiance. You never know.
We know. We
Could
don't.
be. We never know, man.
We don't. Who are we to judge?
Yeah.
Jerry
hey,
Springer.
do what you want. The heart was wants the
You
heart
are
wants,
not
but
the father.
yeah.
Jerry
Now,
it
Springer,
was,
someone
mayor,
did make
mayor of Cincinnati at one point, just so you know.
Fun
Man.
fact.
Cincinnati's
I did not know that.
everywhere.
Just they're everywhere right now. Golly. But no,
someone
it-
did make the comment on Twitter. If he would have run for 4,000 yards had his mom been the pulling guard.
I saw that.
He's so big.
I saw that.
Wow.
Someone made the comment. I'm just pointing it out.
Twitter's an
Twitter was
electrifying
on a
place
different
sometimes.
one Saturday night.
Yeah, he was. Golly. No, it was definitely the media's Heisman. They definitely pushed and pushed.
Voters need to be coaches and past Heisman winners. Get the media out of it.
Yeah.
Well, if we're going to talk about college football and the committee and all that bullshit, at least
Committee's
they got
crooked.
one thing right. I think this bracket this year is right. Minus the seeding of it. I think they need to tweak that a little bit. I don't think Oregon should have the toughest way, especially when they went 13-0.
Yeah.
But I think the teams that they picked were correct.
I agree.
But
I fully believe SMU deserved to get in instead of Bama.
listen. I understand that. I
fully think SMU deserved it.
Power 5 team to make it. I understand. Oklahoma State.
Well, SMU is Power 5.
Scores that touchdown since he doesn't make it. You know what I mean? It was an inch.
Yep.
I'm all in for small. Another American school, by the way. Another American school.
Yeah.
Yep.
Former American school.
We talked about this last week too, and Chance had said that like instead of doing the bracket this way, why don't we do it where one plays the low, where after this first round, then one plays the lowest seed. So let's say Clemson ends up winning.
Does.
Yeah, let's say Clemson is winning, then Oregon will play Clemson. You know, that way it's just keep it like that. Now you could say, oh, if Clemson just pulls out a win and then they get force-fed Oregon, well, I mean, that's their problem. They're the low seed. Win more games during the regular season.
Yeah, sorry about it.
Again, I saw that on Twitter. I'm like, buddy, win more football games and you don't have to have that conversation. You know, go 13-0 and you get potentially that low seed, you know?
To every Bama fan that's butthurt that they didn't make it, win more ball games.
Yeah, don't lose to Vanderbilt.
Don't lose 3 games.
Don't lose to Vanderbilt and Oklahoma. You know, don't lose to unranked teams. And the only reason Alabama probably didn't get in is because Clemson won. Because if Clemson loses, they're not in. They weren't in by any means.
No.
It was the championship, and that was it. You know, so.
No, because if Clemson lost, SMU was in regardless.
Oh yeah, no, SMU I think was in regardless. It was Clemson.
Well, they would have won the ACC if they'd have won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, for some Bama fans who are still butthurt about it, you can yell at Clemson for winning or SMU for losing. You know, SMU did give up a 40-yard kick return, literally, you know, and with 17 seconds, and then a 20-yard pass the very next play. So, you know, blame SMU's defense. I don't know what to tell you. But that's the only reason Alabama's not in. No, I'm excited for this weekend. This should be very fun. Very fun. Notre Dame's going to be packed out. Ohio State's going to be packed out and loud. Texas should be pretty loud. And Penn State, I think, is doing the whiteout.
Texas will be rocking.
Penn State's doing the whiteout, so weather should be interesting. Snow's falling up here. You getting snow up there, Bobby?
Uh-huh.
Yep. Yeah, we got snow today. God damn it. I hate snow. Anyway.
Snow and very cold weather.
Yeah. We did have a very fun game of every single year that we have. It's the annual America's game, Army versus Navy. And Navy done kicked Army's ass this year.
Yeah,
I mean, the complete opposite of what we thought was going to happen. Fun little stat for you boys and for our listeners. Navy actually leads the overall record between the two teams. 63, 55, and 7 ties. I don't know why they tied 7 times, but, you know, whatever. So 63, 55, and 7 overall record that Navy leads Army. That's pretty impressive. It's a pretty interesting stat. Did any of you watch this game yesterday? Jason, I know you were at a hockey game. Yeah. What were your thoughts on it, Bobby?
I mean, it's hard not to watch it and kind of enjoy it. I was shocked with how good Navy came out looking.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of played the Army and ate up clock and kept the ball.
They pulled the Army move.
Yeah.
They do what Army's known for. They played Army's game and put it against them. But a Navy team that like wasn't doing very hot was kind of scuffling after that Notre Dame loss. Put our hopes of an Army Navy game for the conference championship in the toilet there, but being a scuffling Navy team, they come out and they just blitz Army and play Army's game and just say, yeah, we can do that too, and we can kick your ass while doing it.
Well, that's what I love about the Army Navy game is because Navy's been pretty solid. As of late, probably not, but I would say pre-COVID era, they were pretty solid. They I forget the name of the quarterback that they had, but man, they were always favored to win that game, and then Army would come in and beat their ass. So I love that. It's always a coin flip. I love that they just enjoy it. And what's great about that whole game is the whole stadium, damn near, is full of just servicemen, and they're all in uniform. And I love it. Little like personal news, I guess, or update is one of my former football players. He just signed to play for Army next year, so he was at the game.
That's awesome.
He was on the sideline. His name's Landon Hebner, so if you guys ever hear him, he's a great kid, super quick. He's going to be a DB for him. White kid.
Hell yeah.
You got to love it.
Yeah, let's go.
No racist stuff. No racist stuff. I'm just saying. But he's a great kid. He's a great kid, so shout out to Landon. But he was on the sideline, and you sent me pictures, so it was sweet. It was really cool.
That's awesome.
Shout out to him for wanting to serve our country, too.
Yeah, absolutely. That's phenomenal. Absolutely.
And that's it. And what was cool about it, too, is that was his plan. He's like, I just want to, football's whatever. I want to serve our country. And that was the only offer that he ever had to go and play Army.
Meant
Pretty
to be
awesome.
then.
Jason, your computer, buddy. My goodness gracious.
Air economy words. Buddy, it's 2024.
Dude.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
Usually his computer sounds like a fighter jet.
It's only fitting for the Army-Navy game.
It sounds like it's in flight right now, like you're sitting behind the turbine just...
What's your call sign?
My call sign.
Oh,
James,
man.
What did we say your call sign would be?
What did he say?
Ask somebody who...
What did he say?
I honestly am not. It's not a rhetorical question. It's like I physically can't hear.
Once we stop, we'll switch it, alright?
Yep, he's gonna.
I'm gonna
he
need
said
you to
he's
get
gonna...
off of Elon's spaceship from Mars back down to
Earth. Anyway, we got playoff. We got a multitude of bowl games, and then
Friday can't come soon enough.
And then we have a multitude, and we have our 4 playoff games. They're slugs. Friday. Chance, I know you're ready.
We have 2 games Friday, 2 Saturday?
Earth. 1 game Friday.
1 game Friday. It's the most important game of the week for Chance.
Well, tonight.
Obviously tonight in 10 minutes. Notre Dame has a home playoff game against Indiana, the Hoosiers. Chance, what are your thoughts on this game, buddy?
Well, it's the first ever. Well, not first ever, but since 1991, it's the first Notre Dame home game that's not going to be televised on NBC. So,
Whoa.
but It really comes down to, can Notre Dame run the ball? They've proven that they can run the ball, and that's what makes their offense go here of late. In Indiana, they can stop the run pretty well. So just, can you get to your game early and get the crowd into it? You don't want to keep this game close.
Yep. Diener, what about you, buddy?
I'm going to be completely honest with you. I think Indiana, the Hoosiers, are a bunch of phonies, for one. They played the weakest Big Ten schedule out of everybody in the Big Ten. When they actually had to face somebody, hint, Ohio State, they got their, what they say, cheeks clapped. I think that's what they say.
Yeah, that's what the kids say
Yeah,
nowadays.
cream pie.
That's what the kids say.
Jesus. Damn it.
But
You heard it here first from Chance.
They're about to know what the Catholics are all about.
yeah, I'm with Chance. I think Marcus Freeman's doing a heck of a job, minus the Northern Illinois game. God, that was bad. But
Which I think that's the best thing that could have happened to him.
absolutely, you took the words right out of my mouth, buddy. But I think Marcus Freeman is a great coach. And I think he'll do great things, and he's got them playing their best ball right now. So I think that game is not going to be fun for the Hoosiers of Indiana. But
and the spread is wild for that game. Notre Dame's favored by a good amount in this one.
I think 7.
Oh shit, that might change my whole demeanor now. I might have a slight sports gambling addiction. If we could put the hotline for addiction like right
make the call. It's on if you have a sports gambling app, go to that number, whatever number it is. It's on there.
Yeah. But it is fun. But yeah, I think Notre Dame rolls that game.
Bobby, what about you, buddy?
I think Notre Dame is going to win, but I think it's going to be a lot closer. I think Cignetti's going to have the boys fired up ready to play, but I just think Notre Dame's got too much.
Yeah. We're about to find out.
To go back to what Dean said,
yep.
Notre Dame plays a good team. We saw what happened.
Yep. All right, Saturday. Go ahead, D.
One more thing. Marcus Freeman, Ohio State guy, Bearcat guy. Hell,
just tossing that out there.
Yeah, just letting that be.
Let it marinate there.
I think everything has a tie to Cincinnati.
It kind of does.
He would know if it does too.
Yep. Saturday. We got a whiteout in Penn State. They're playing SMU. Two very different stylistic differences offensively. You have very high impact, explosive SMU firepower, just boom, just like big plays all over the place. On the other side, you got in-your-face Big Ten ground and pound football with a shaky quarterback. But Penn State seemed to kind of hang in there against Oregon last week. Now, they have not beaten anybody in the top 25 this year. Okay, they have not beat a ranked team, I don't believe.
James Franklin can never win a big game.
There you go. So it's the same story as Indiana here. The record looks nice.
I'm taking SMU in this game.
Yeah, they really didn't beat anybody. SMU, their two losses are against top 15 ranked teams. And one was in the ACC championship. So it's kind of one of those deals where This is a coin flip for me. I think SMU, depending on weather, that's the main thing. PA weather in
it's going to be cold.
December. It's going to be freezing cold. God knows if it's snowing. The wind's a factor. You know, we don't know exactly what that's going to be like.
I'm more excited to see, because I mean, to me, the Indiana Notre Dame could be a 50-50 crowd.
Yes. This is a Penn State whiteout.
Yeah, this is going to be a true test of SMU. They haven't played an environment like this because, I mean,
Never.
Let's admit, the ACC football is not very good. It's not. They're going to be playing in a stadium with 110,000 people dressed in all white, screaming, yelling, drinking.
Mo Bamba.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, is this better or worse than the Michigan game that they had when you couldn't hear anything and they had to call timeout first play? Is it?
It's going to be way worse.
Higher than that or lower?
Oh yeah.
What do we?
Oh yeah.
We need a FanDuel. We need a FanDuel bet on the noise, on the decibel noise of the crowd here, because that's not my bet on right there.
Penn State fans like to get rowdy.
Yeah, that place is going to be rocking.
I can't stand Penn State, but their fans are going to get active.
Yep. So I don't know. It's a toss up. I know the spread is very close. I don't think anyone really knows, but we'll see.
But if you're going to base this off of history, Penn State can never win a big game. That's all you need to know.
Penn State can't win the big one, but this offense is not made for that kind of weather. That's the other thing.
But they have a type of defense that can wear Penn State down too. They have a very big defense with a very skilled secondary.
Mm-hmm. What's your thoughts, Steve?
Dude, I'm loving the take by Bobby.
I watched the SMU Pitt game. They have a very underrated dual threat quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm just historically thinking, Franklin can't win a big game. I 100% agree with that. But one thing that I think a lot of people have just breezed over this year is the fact that Bowling Green.
Yeah, exactly. Almost beat Penn State.
Should have beat Penn State. So, and I will give credit where credit's due. I thought Penn State. I don't think they were really intending to go play in the Big Ten championship game.
No.
And they did. They had a late push and they held their own, and that's a respectful loss for them. But
they made it a lot closer than I thought that game would have been.
I thought Oregon was going to run away with it.
I've bet on a lot of Penn State games this year, and one common thing that they do is they are a very slow start team. And I could
very methodical offense.
Yes, and if SMU comes out and punches them in the mouth and gets up big quick, we might have a pretty decent game. Now
they have a very quick strike offense.
I know, and if they play to Penn State standards, I think Penn State rolls and they win and they move on. So, I can't even pick a winner. Just it's all that first half is going to determine a lot, I think.
Yep. Chance?
Sorry, commercial of a girl that I used to mess with in high school came on the TV. I was sorry. I deliver to her sometimes. It is what it is.
Oh, I'm sure you delivered something.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, in high school before I knew what a delivery was.
Yep.
I can't tell you much in college football because I do work Saturday, so I don't get to watch a lot. I only get to really watch Notre Dame because I record those games and put those on at night. So, yeah, I got nothing.
All right, well, then we'll move on. All right, Texas, who just got kind of gutted, heart-wrenched by another loss.
They need to start Archie Manning, I do know that.
Yeah, he says that all the time. Texas, who just suffered a heartbreaking loss in a game they probably should have won. They led pretty much all of the stats for the most part for pretty much the entire game against Georgia and ended up losing that in OT to a team who, at the beginning of the year, we didn't think was going to be here. Especially, you lose 4 scores. Again, I get to a Georgia team, but you really don't know what this school is going to be like. Your coach really doesn't believe in the transfer portal. But it seemed to kind of motivate them, and they just took off. Kind of snuck their way in there to the ACC championship. A team, again, Bobby, who we didn't think was going to be there, especially the way Miami was looking early in the season. But
the way Pitt looked until week 8.
Yep, the way Pitt looked there. Hell, just a couple of teams in the ACC were like, hey, these teams are looking good. They might be there. And then also all of a sudden it's SMU against Clemson. You're like, whoa, didn't see that coming, Clemson ends up winning that football game in the last seconds of that game, walk off to clinch their hopes in there. On paper, this looks like Texas is just, they got the easy one. They're going to be moving on, no problem. It's looking that way, but Clemson's in that mindset of, why not us? You know what I mean? Why not us? We've been an SMU team that a lot of people were picking to beat us. Fuck it, we ball kind of moment, So, I don't know. Dean, this seems like a landslide Texas win. 60% of the bets are going Texas's way. What are you thinking here, bud?
Okay, there's this is gonna hurt my soul, dude. Okay, so here we go. Analytically speaking, I think Clemson has the upper hand over Texas. I think Texas, in my mind, this year has been very, with all the power, with that stacked defensive line, the weapons that they have, just maybe there's just so much hype around it. I don't know, but to me, they have seemed like they just kind of skated by and just tried to stay very just. They want to do just enough to win, I guess.
Yep.
But
It honestly seemed like at some point they couldn't get out of their own way.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Clemson and I very much dislike Dabo Swinney.
I don't like. I say not a Dabo fan.
Not a Dabo fan, but dude has been there before. He has been to the college playoff. He's done these things, and I understand that Texas head coach, he was assistant at Alabama. He's been there too, but it's different. It is different. And I think Clemson just has a brand. They have that mentality that you mentioned. Man, I could see this game being really, really close. I'm sure that everybody. Yeah, we hear you, Gross. Nice.
Oh, finally.
And no static. Look at you. Hey, look at you figuring it out. All right. We're back.
Mid-pod, and you just got it done.
Figuring it out.
That's elite
technology, man.
He went to the bullpen.
Did you turn it off and turn it back on again? That's the direction you went right there.
Yeah.
Imagine if this would have happened before your birthday. You wouldn't have known what to do.
I know.
Jeez. That 6th grade, that 6-year-old reading level is paying off for you, buddy.
Jeez.
6.5. Okay, kindergarten was the best 3 years of my life.
They got an attention like me.
Yeah, tell Dean what you did in kindergarten. You haven't heard these stories yet.
Did you get through all my WWE stories?
Yeah, 100%.
This man living.
We'll get to those.
We'll get to those later.
Sounded like
Jason
in the middle of a great.
Now tell him about.
Oh yeah.
And you got to bring up Karate Day, Chance.
I do. I'll bring up everything later.
Yep. All right, Dean. Continue.
Okay. So, yeah, I think that game's gonna be super close, and I can see late in the ball game, Clemson having a chance to win. So I'll just leave it at that. So that Clemson will have a chance to win that game at the end.
Okay.
Jason,
I can't say I disagree with you, Diener. I can't say I disagree with you.
I think
because we both.
The big factor for Texas is if Quinn Ewers starts, can he finish? Because he's been getting hurt. He's been getting hurt in a lot of these games, and they've had to go to Arch Manning. So the question is, can Quinn Ewers play a full game? And I think if he
do you just go to Arch Manning from the start?
Like Chance has been saying probably since week 10.
I think Arch is a good quarterback, but in terms of guys who have been around it, Quinn Ewers, while he didn't play at Ohio State, he was around guys and around those situations a lot, so he knows what what it takes. So
I don't know. On paper, right? You look at just everything, and you're like, man, it screams Texas winning this football game. But you watch how Clemson played last week. Now, I know SMU's defense isn't exactly what Texas's is, but in terms of build, I would compare SMU a little bit to Texas. They just don't have the skill level that Texas has. Like, there's a lot of people on that Texas defense that are probably going to go first, second round on that defense. They have a great defense. Absolutely, no doubt in my mind. But I think Clemson can hang with them. And Texas is not a real football team that likes close games.
Nope.
When teams come out and smack, like you said earlier with Penn State, Texas isn't a team that likes to be smacked in the mouth. They just don't. They like to smack people in the mouth. They just don't like. They're not like Chance and like being slapped in the face. They don't like that.
Yeah.
That's not their thing. So if Clemson can come out early and put 7, and just breeze on down the football field, hell, even go down the football field and put up 3. I think that would be like, oh, okay, we're in. This isn't going to be an easy day, boys. Like, we got to bear down. And again, Clemson has that fuck it, why not? We're not. If you're Clemson, you're not supposed to win this football game at all. It's not even a question.
You're supposed to be there.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be here. You're not supposed to be one of these 12. But here you are. All right, fuck it, why not? Let's go out and let's ball. We have nothing to lose right now. We're supposed to be getting ready for a bowl game. We're not. We're getting ready to play Texas for a chance to go and, move on in this playoff and go chase a national championship. Holy shit, So that would be interesting. Now, I think this one is the game of the first round. This next one. We're up in Columbus. It's Ohio State and Tennessee. Now, every Big Ten, and especially the schools up north in the ACC, are getting their wish, finally. We got it earlier this year when Alabama went to go face Wisconsin, but you are getting an SEC team going to play one of the Big Ten schools in an outdoor stadium in that cold-ass Ohio shit weather, whatever y'all want to call it, that I had to deal with for 4 freaking years. Anyway, that weather up there, and it's a Saturday night. Prime time. You're getting your wish. Jason.
I saw a thing saying Ohio State's wearing the all-scarlet uniforms. Is that true, Cross?
They are.
Ooh.
So y'all
Those
had to wear it
uniforms
on the chin.
Those are tough.
Yeah, Ohio State had to wear one on the chin, and they haven't played since. So this is marinated and festered just in the Ohio State fan base and organization's soul for damn near a month. And finally you get an opportunity to just kind of, I feel bad for Tennessee because now you get to unleash all of that just pent up anger and frustration that you've had since that day, that Saturday. What are your thoughts on this one?
When you look at Tennessee, they hung in with some of the good teams in the SEC. I think they're going to give Ohio State a fight. I think Ohio State's big thing, and This is more directed at the guy who should be fired no matter what happens at the end of the year.
If you're going where I think you're going, I agree.
But you don't have to prove you're tougher than a team. Fucking
Yep,
beat
he went
the
exactly
team.
where I thought.
Don't
He went exactly where I thought you were going.
That was the problem with the Michigan game. Ryan Day wanted to sit there and say, "Oh yeah, we're tougher than Michigan." Well, if you can't beat them, you're not fucking tougher than them. So beat Tennessee. Don't try to sit there and prove, "Oh yeah, we're tougher than them. Our team's tough." Lou Holtz ain't talking shit right now. Okay. Maybe that's what we need to prove it. Maybe we need Lou Holtz to come out and say something again. I mean, from, his nursing home looking absolutely almost dead. Great coach. A lot of respect for
fantastic
legend.
The dude does not look like
he's seen better days.
Human being at times.
Yeah, he's seen better days.
But come out, get the passing game going early. You have a lot of speed on the outside. Utilize that speed. Yeah, they played in the SEC. They had to play Bama. They had to play Georgia, who have fast wide receivers. I believe they played Texas. I do not remember if they played Texas or not. But, you had to go up against teams with speed if you're, with Tennessee. So they know how to defend it, but when you look at Jeremiah Smith, you look at Emeka Egbuka, there's not going to be many guys that can cover them. Utilize it. If you can get the passing game going early, you can open up the running game and really dictate the physicality in the game. I think that's what they did wrong against Michigan, and I think that's what they have to do to be able to come out and beat Tennessee.
Daner, what about you, bud? This is probably the game of the week in my mind.
I'm with you. I think this will be one of the best games in the whole bracket. But I do have my questions with Ohio State. I have my questions with Tennessee. I don't think Ryan Day should even have a job right now. I think Chip Kelly should probably be as just a placeholder head coach for right now. But I'm going to disagree with. I don't think Ohio State is fired up. I think their fans are. I don't think they are fired up about losing to Michigan because it's been part of their last 4 years. Just come to accustomed to it. And I hate that because I don't like Michigan.
Not a lot of people.
I think a lot of people do.
If we also had a kicker that was worth a damn, we probably would have won that game. But
yeah.
Fucking kickers that cost us.
But it's just it's Ryan Day has posted through the Urban Meyer leftovers for a while, and now he's getting absolutely exposed. So, I think it's unfair to fans of Ohio State. I think it's unfair to the university that a guy like that is at the captain's guiding the ship. But no, back to the game. I think it's going to be a fucking awesome game. I think both sides are just gonna sling it around, and whoever has the ball last is gonna win. I got Ohio State winning it though, because fuck the SEC. No offense.
All offense towards Bill.
I got no backup on the show. The lone SEC guy.
I think the other key for Ohio State's going to be the offensive line. It's kind of a scrambled together offensive line. You've got to be able to protect Will Howard. You've got to be able to open up lanes for the running game. And I think if you're Ryan Day, you've almost got to utilize the screen game a little bit. Pull the guards and let them run out and hit somebody. Mm-hmm. You've got athleticism on the offensive line. Utilize it in a game like this. Tennessee's going to come out ready to go in the trenches. You're not going to be able to run the ball up the middle. You can't do what you did against Michigan. and try to run the ball up the middle every time you run the fucking ball. Run it outside.
100%.
Tennessee probably has a bigger defensive line than Michigan, just for the brand of football in the SEC.
And their linebackers are solid. Tennessee has some solid linebacker play, and they have depth at that position. So, definitely better than that school up north for sure. They're definitely bigger, but we'll see how they handle that. I know Tennessee isn't like the deep south of the SEC like some of these schools, but they don't have to deal with Ohio cold. Ohio cold is different, okay? It just is.
See, I don't think it's going to be the cold that changes the game plan. It's going to be the rain that's going to change it, because I don't think this weather is going anywhere. And, Tennessee's a team that's thrived on their passing game. They have a decent running back. They have a good pass protect O-line. Like, that's what they've thrived on, is utilizing their ability to throw the ball. If it's rainy and crappy, they're not going to be able to do that. So they're going to have to find a different way to beat you. And if you're Ohio State, I press the receivers off the line. Dare them to beat you down the field.
Sneak it.
You have the best safety in college football lurking back there. There's not going to be very many times they're going to be able to beat Caleb Downs as well as a corner. So, and the other thing you got to do when it comes to your corners is you got to look at Davis and Igbinosun and go, you get one stupid penalty, you're fucking done. We cannot handle the dumbass grabbing and holding penalties, the dumbass unnecessary roughness penalties. We can't have that in this game. You do it once, you're done, and we're going to put in a freshman over you, because I'm so done watching him play. I don't know what the hype was about him coming over here. He's done nothing but grab and hold, cause stupid 15-yard penalties, and cost us field position in games. They've got to do something about it.
I also think this game is strictly, it doesn't matter what it is. It's Big Ten, SEC, and this is my opinion of it. SEC hasn't really impressed me. They keep beating each other up. So
that's all they've been doing all year.
I can't read. Are they good, or are they all just average and they just keep beating up on each other? The whole Ole Miss thing really threw me off this year. I don't know. I don't see it. I think the Big Ten still reigns strong this year. So we'll see.
Yep. So the matchups, the winner of Tennessee, Ohio State, obviously you get Oregon, number 1 overall seed, the 13-0, only undefeated team. Then the other matchups, you got number 12 Clemson and Texas. The winner of that gets number 4 Arizona State, which, one of the stories of this bracket, the team picked preseason to finish dead last in their conference, ends up winning their championship, ranked top 15 and in the playoffs. Have a year Arizona State, right? That place is buzzing right now. Then you have the winner of number 10 Indiana and number 7 Notre Dame. This is going to get interesting next week, because the winner of that gets number 2 Georgia and no Carson Beck for the rest of the year. So you have to deal with the true freshman, dual threat, 5-star QB out of northeastern Georgia. We'll see. That's very interesting matchup. Jesus. And then the winner of SMU Penn State gets Boise State. And that might be a Heisman revenge game.
Genty's going to have 300 yards on the ground.
Genty might win the national championship. He might carry that team to the championship.
Yeah.
He might throw a hat trick of touchdowns. We're not saying anything. SMU, Penn State have pretty decent run defenses, but I don't know. You get snubbed out of a Heisman. I'm just saying.
You're going to be playing with some fire.
Yeah, what happens there?
I feel bad for the first guy that goes to tackle him.
Oh, shit.
That dude might have cleat marks up his back.
Yeah.
Or his head's getting dribbled off the ground.
Yeah. Is there a targeting call for heads being dribbled off of turf? Is that a thing in the NCAA?
I think that would be an awesome story for Georgia fans, though, and for that freshman to come in. I loved his post game interview after his head got taken off, like one of the last plays of the game. That dude looks like he just likes slinging beers after games. So
100%.
I am a big fan. I can relate to a guy like that.
Yep.
So whoever Georgia has to face, I think they're in good hands. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. We just got to keep them out of the cars. Keep them out of the cars and stay away from the bars.
That's why they didn't play well at Georgia Tech. They had that old school car sitting there.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, so here's my question for you guys. If you look at a team playing in these first round games, obviously we know, Ohio State is a team that can make a run. Texas is a team. Outside of those two, if you had to pick one team to make a run at this thing, who would you pick?
SMU.
I think with their high-powered offense, it'll make defenses nervous.
Bingo.
Hot take. As much as I even said it myself, but I for some reason I can see it, is I could see Franklin getting over the hump and just scraping by and making a run for the thing. And if they beat, oh my gosh. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you look at Penn State in that Big Ten championship against Oregon, they ran for almost 300 yards.
There might be some confidence in that loss.
But I'm with Bobby too. Like I'm mixed because I could see Penn State making a run for it, but I'm with Bobby. Is like that motherfucker can't win a big game.
Nope, he can't. What is he, 1-10?
But I will say this though, his post game after beating Maryland and running up the score, and he's like, if you don't fucking like it, so be it. I love that shit. So,
I mean, my thought is if you can't beat us, don't fucking complain the fact that we just keep scoring. Be better.
It's not my job to stop my offense, bro. It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not my fault if I have my second team in there and they still score.
Well, and he talked about, he's like, we live in the world of the transfer portal and stuff like that. And he's like, why would I work my ass off to get these guys to come to my team, and then when I have an opportunity for them to play football, I'm going to let them play football, dude. I'm not going to let them just run it up the middle, pull Ohio State. I'm just kidding. That was a low blow. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that.
Kind of but the McNuggets a little bit.
Dude, I'm sorry, Cross. I'm sorry, brother. I mean, they can hire me. Like, I will gladly coach Ohio State right now.
Dean, I would be fully supported if you were wearing that headset on Saturday night.
Dude, that'd be
Diener is the head coach of the Bearcats? Fuck.
Buddy.
Ooh.
Manifest it. Put it out there.
Might be the wrong sport. I'd probably go baseball, but yeah.
Hey, Bearcats got a good baseball squad. I'm just saying.
Okay, so hold on. I know. Like, I don't want to push anything, and this is totally off topic, but Cincinnati. I don't know if you guys watched college baseball last year.
Buddy, religiously.
Cincinnati was kind of a little Cinderella story going on for that Big 12.
Mm-hmm.
Watch out, man. Year 2. I'm just saying.
Big 12 on the heart.
And listen to me, Big 10, man, Big 10 baseball might be back.
It might be with Oregon.
Yeah.
Hey, Bobby, first home weekend for Ohio State, Oregon.
Oh, I'm like, road trip. Road trip.
Our head varsity coach talked about possibly taking the team for the game.
Might have to. Yeah.
I'll be part of the team.
Oregon squad's favored to go to the World Series this year. They got a squad coming up, so
Is
early.
UCLA falling off or what?
Nah, they'll be back. Ohio.
I think they'll be back. If not this year, next year. But
Okay.
they've been teeter-tottering on the edge of like recruit a bunch of young guys and bring them in, or just go full on transfer portal and let's go win now. But yeah, they don't know what they are right now. Kind of an identity crisis going on in UCLA on the low.
Well, I just think like I mean we all experienced what college baseball is like.
Yeah, Billy got hit in the face with a fly ball.
All right, here we go.
He did.
Dude, come on, man! Even on the podcast like that, you're just gonna throw that out
we
there?
bring it up at least.
They throw it out there probably once or twice an episode. It's fine. I watched an MLB player get hit in the face with a fly ball too. So you know what? He's getting paid millions of dollars, and I'm not.
Yeah,
whatever.
Wow.
Even they do it.
I mean,
No.
Aaron Judge dropped that fly ball too. By the way.
Yeah,
that ball's up for auction. I want to buy it
for like $500,000.
I wanted to see if I would have bought it. I would have had him autograph it.
Yeah. So
this is the ball you dropped in the World Series.
But what I was saying is like baseball is crazy because you could have a pretty good team, and if you guys don't gel together, kiss the season goodbye.
Mm-hmm. That happened to a few teams last year. You know, look at LSU. That had a squad. Wake Forest, they had a squad. For some odd reason, they just couldn't do it. You know, so I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna take a break. When we come back, we're back in about.
One last thought on Penn State, because we haven't really talked about this, and I don't think a lot of people are. But for them to make a run, their defense. I mean, their defense has been really good this year. You know, we want to talk about offense, because that's just what football's turned into in all aspects, you know, pro, college, all of it.
Mm-hmm.
But that defense at Penn State is hard-nosed, dude. They're physical.
Yep.
They're fun to watch. So keep an eye on the defense. If they make a run, that's going to be a driving factor, I feel like.
Yep. They definitely got to step up. They can't let Jennings do what Gabriel did, because Gabriel had his way the entire game in the Big Ten championship.
I saw a thing on Twitter. Not sure if it's true or not, but apparently Drew Aller's going to be a dad.
Huh. Shout out! Congratulations! Good for him. Hell yeah! All right, we're gonna get to a break.
I don't know how true it is because it was Twitter.
Yep, hell of a 90 minutes. When we come back, we're headed to the ice, and then we're back in between the sticks again for some NFL talk. We'll be back in 5. Chance.
Break time.
All right.
All right. Chance,
Oh shit.
Let's tell
There
you
we go.
karate.
Damn, your friend already died. That's crazy, dude. That's fucking. Oh shit. We're good. We're good. We're good. Stay calm. Stay calm. Stay fucking open out. Stay calm. So dark. So dark. God damn. God, mother. It's fine. It's fine, dude. It's fine. It's fine, Charger. It's fine, Charger boy. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good. That's not fucking good, man. I forget how much slower I move with heavy armor, man.
Reinforcing.
It's difficult. It certainly is fucking difficult. Hey, Dad. I have 72 fucking bullets? Why? Oh, that's why. That's why. That's a good explanation, you know? I answered my own question with that. I shot your fucking mallet? That's possible? That's fucking bullshit! Oh my god, man! This fucking dude, this I feel a little underpowered right now for where I'm at in the game. Where you going? What? Yeah. Are you, the hammer wasn't big enough!
Hey, Bear, where are you? I just want to show you my gun real quick.
Fuck!
Scott Chargers is aiming down.
You alright there, buddy? Oh my god. Did I kill Bear? Bear in chat, did I kill Bear?
Oh, it's a choo-choo.
Did I kill All right. Welcome back. It's the second half of the show. We ran 92 minutes in the first half, so we're just gonna do halves here. We're running right through this. Let's go to the ice, Chance. Your Blues made a decision, an acquisition that some of the experts have pretty much said that it's a move that puts you guys in the playoff conversation in terms of like what your goals are for this season. I don't know. Is that the move for you? The move in question is former Duck defenseman Cam Fowler. He's 33 years old, so veteran presence on the ice for your very young team. You also get a 2027 fourth rounder, and then the Ducks receive a second rounder in 2027 and a minor league defenseman. I'm not even going to try and say his name because my God.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah, okay.
Not even the
phenomenal.
announcers can say his name.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on this trade, and do you agree with the experts in this scenario?
Kind of. Not really. I mean, you look at our blue line, Broberg and Perunovic are your two young guys. Perunovic needs to play more, and he has with Monty's becoming the head coach. But it's just it's nothing that we need. We don't need to get older on the back end. You need to get younger.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous. It's Armstrong's last hope to put a team in the playoffs in his last year as general manager, because this is his last go around for the team. So it's his job trying to save this team, but in real honesty, he's just kind of hurting it. I don't want to get older. I want to get younger. Make this go as fast as possible. I want a top 10 pick. I don't want to be in no man's land.
Yeah, where you seemingly have been the last couple years.
I'd rather be a true playoff contender, like we can make a run at this, than get in. I mean, obviously you get in, anything can happen. But
get in and get hot.
I'd rather be get in and get hot, or just suck.
Yeah,
it's one of those two options. There is no middle ground in hockey.
Nope.
You either really good or you suck to get a good pick.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Dean.
Yo.
You a guy who likes to watch the hockey? Watch.
I dabble in a little bit of stick and puck sometimes. Yes.
Mm-hmm. If you had a squad, who you riding with? I swear to God, if you say.
Oh, I got a squad. I'm a huge Red Wings fan.
Okay, that's not that bad.
I respect it.
I respect that. I respect it. I got respect for Detroit. I thought you were gonna say Philly again. I was like, all right, buddy, I lost some respect.
No. So, I mean, growing up close to Toledo, we have a ECHL team over there.
The Walleye.
Toledo Walleye, baby. So, we're affiliate with the Detroit Red Wings. So I just kind of started low ECHL, and then I was like, you know what? I'll root for the Red Wings too. So
absolutely. Have you watched a lot of hockey this year?
Talk about getting old. Jeez, getting Patrick Kane and but I will say having DeBrincat has been pretty fun to watch. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
But
the man knows his stick and puck here.
Oh, and earlier this this week. Kosa, he's a goalie. He
Their top
played
goalie
for.
prospect.
Yeah. He. I used to watch him play for the Walleye, and now he got his first. NHL win. So
Hell yeah. There you go.
pretty cool.
The goalie
Pretty
can be
cool.
their saving grace.
And he came in. Like he didn't start the game. They pulled the goalie or they subbed him out or whatever. And
Gave him
then
that
it
new
went to a
life.
shootout. Yeah, and they went to a shootout and they won. And I'm pretty sure Dylan Larkin won that game for him. And I want to say it was against the Blues? Sabres.
Mm-hmm.
That's who it was.
Yeah.
Same colors.
I know a little bit what's going on in hockey. I know the Red Wings are kind of they're all right.
Slow start.
Certainly have not lived up to the expectations.
No, but I will say that last year push, like at the end there, they were doing an awesome job. They were only like 6 games away, and they had like 2 months to win 6 games, and they fucking blew it. That was brutal. But
Yeah.
But no, I'm kind of expecting the same thing this year. Is they'll get hot late and they'll try to make a late push, and they'll either come up short again or they'll make it this time. So.
Mm-hmm.
Diener did make a comment about wanting to come down and hang with the boys for the Stadium Series.
I'm in.
That's going to be a good time.
I'm so in.
I'm down. If the fellas are down.
Sweet.
Yep.
I'm all for it.
I'm down for that. All right,
We're trying to get tickets.
Yeah.
Jason wants me to spend money on the tickets for everybody.
He's the one that makes 6 figures over here. Christmas present for everybody.
God damn.
I'm saving for a car.
That's true. He's trying to get that blacked out Bronco, right? Right, bud?
Yeah.
All you gotta do is sell that land you got.
Well, maybe I want to use that land for something.
What?
Practice his short game.
You never know, man.
He's building a par 3 course.
Not to sound racist or anything.
All right.
Chance is gonna build Amen Corner from Augusta there.
That I'm sharing the door with over here.
Yo, hold on.
Sean.
Is anybody watching the Seahawks game right now?
Yes.
That's Kobe Bryant. That's my guy, Cincinnati.
Sorry. We should start a count.
Now we need a Diener counter. Now we need a
Bearcats
counter. We have the former Buckeye counter. Now we need the Cincinnati counter.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start a new counter.
I'm telling you.
Chance, since Dean's here, you have to do quarterback tiers this week.
What a throw!
Maybe yet to even think about it. I've been asleep all day, but we can try to think of something.
What a throw!
What are we doing here?
How about this, Chance? We go through a top 25 ranking for you.
I got
We haven't
tiers.
done one of those in a while.
We got our top
tiers.
3 tiers list. Yeah, we still got that. But I want to do something real quick with the boys here. We do it for baseball on occasion. Contenders or pretenders. We have some teams that are exceeding expectations or a little on that bubble of expectations. So we're going to go through division by division. It's not every team. It's just a couple teams. I want to get your all's thoughts. Contenders or pretenders. Why or why not? Make sense? Get the gist? Here we go. First team, the Boston Bruins. 16-13-3. They have a negative 19 goal differential, and they're 6-4 in their last 10. Chance, I want to start with you. There might be some bias coming from me and Bobby on this one. But, Chance just left. Dear Lord.
What's going on?
Never mind.
He got disconnected.
Jason, he got disconnected.
At this point, I would say pretenders. They haven't shown that they can stick around and play, quality. Obviously, their goal differential is minus 19. You can't really say you're a contender when you're almost, when you're in the negatives on goal differential. So I would say pretenders.
Yep, I would know all about that. Capitals negative 40 last year. Bobby, to you, buddy.
It's hard to count Boston out, really. I'm gonna go. As much as it pains me to say this, I'm gonna say Contenders.
All right. Chance. Boston Bruins,
Pretenders.
contenders
Fuck
or
me.
pretenders, sir? Pretend. Yeah, turn your head.
Sean!
Diener, to you, bud.
I think they're contenders for sure.
Okay.
Another one of those slow starts, but they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
They've been pretty solid the past couple of years. I know that.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go. I mean, it depends on goaltending, right? And I think also, obviously, trade deadline as well. Are they going to be major buyers? Or are they going to be major sellers? Because I think we can all agree, Jason, I think you can agree to this too. They did not get better over the offseason. I think they got worse. Their goaltending is suspect as well.
Swayman hasn't been the same since he signed that huge-ass contract.
Yeah, and he was their savior in the playoffs. He was the reason they went as far as they did in the postseason last year. And then he got a contract, and then he's not been anywhere near what he was.
Yeah, I wonder what was going on.
Internet troubles everywhere. All right, next team.
Yeah,
Jason, the Tampa Bay Lightning. 16, 10, and 2.
This is the team for me that's weird because
they're plus 30 goal differential this year.
Yeah, the problem is you lost a lot of guys who were there, who have been there. Like, I still got to say they're contenders until they prove to me that they can't get there. I got to say contenders. You know, it's almost like Bobby
sitting
said,
there and it
Boston,
just starts
it's hard to count
going
them
in
out.
circles. It's like, did it go in?
And obviously the guys that they lost really haven't been doing a whole lot in the places they went. So
yeah.
You know, Stamkos has not looked good in Nashville, but I got to go.
Nashville's a dumpster fire.
Just been playing phenomenal for them. For Tampa.
Dean, what about you, buddy? Contenders or pretenders? Tampa Bay Lightning.
Contenders, man. As much as I'm not a fan of the Lightning, but yeah, they sadly will be around.
Bobby, what about you, buddy?
I'd say they're contenders.
Okay. Chance?
Contenders.
Okay. Why do you think they're still contenders?
On here?
He's on. I can hear him.
I can't see him.
Well, yeah,
I can't see you either.
Stuff.
We can't see you either. Yeah. See. All right. On to the Ottawa Senators, who have turned it on as of late. They're 15-13 with 2 overtime losses,
Okay.
plus 4 in the goal differential. Chance. Ottawa Senators.
Pretenders. They can score at will, but I guess the biggest thing is if Ullmark can get going. Because if Ullmark's going, then he's proven that he can be a top goalie. So,
Bobby,
same as Boston, but...
Okay. What about you, Bobby?
I'm saying pretenders.
Pretenders in Ottawa? Okay.
Yeah.
Dean?
I like a little bit of an underdog. I'll say that they're a bunch of contenders.
Bunch of contenders, the underdog, if the shoe fits. All right.
You know what I mean? Like nobody's expecting them. They think this is just a flash in the pan. I don't think so. I think they're going to stick around.
All right. Jason, what about you? The shoe fit in Ottawa this year, or?
I have to agree with Dean. I think they're a team that a lot of people expect to fall off, but I could see them sticking around. They've got to definitely have enough talent to be able to stick around.
Yeah, I mean, they went out last year, had a big offseason, definitely underperformed last year. I think we all can agree on that. They weren't anywhere near what they were supposed to be
for a while.
last year at all.
Buffalo,
that they
Detroit,
have.
and
So,
Ottawa have been the three teams every year that everybody's looking at which team is going to make the jump. Detroit was close last year. They fell off the cliff.
mhm.
They haven't lived up to the expectations this year. Buffalo is Buffalo. I don't know what they do over there. And then Ottawa, I mean, they're
Not much.
scoring at a high rate right now, but just a matter can they get their goaltending figured out.
Mm-hmm.
They're fun to watch, though.
True. On to the Metro Division. I'm going to start with that team that at least two of us on this show don't like. Philadelphia
Did we
Flyers.
talk about the Leafs?
Toronto, you want to
No.
talk about them? I think they're contenders. They look good.
I
Wagon.
think they're contenders.
Sorry, I just had to get that one in there.
Dean, let me just tell you this real quick. This man right here, I think since the show's inception, since we even mentioned NHL, has been on this Toronto is a wagon thing. I'm talking 5 years in a row. And 5 years in a row they've gone out early in the playoffs. He is still on that wagon. He has picked Toronto every single year to go to the Cup final.
Who is this?
Hey, I did
This is
predict the
Chance.
bracket right.
He did. He did get one side
Other
of the
than
bracket
Leafs.
completely correct.
Chance.
Yes.
Other than
like I
Toronto.
mentioned earlier, my Red Wings are pretty mid this year, and they beat that ass the other night. So,
They did.
uh,
I dabble in Toronto just in the East. I do like the Red Wings.
we don't like those guys over there on the Canada side.
So he has been riding this Toronto wagon for a while, but they're getting hot. They're tied with Florida right now at the top of the Atlantic. I think they're contenders. They always are every single year until it comes to the first round. Then we don't know. We don't know what team's going to show up. All right, Philadelphia Flyers. They're 14-13 with 4 overtime losses. They're minus 13 in the differential, the fourth in the Metro Division. Jason, contenders or pretenders?
I got to see them live on Tuesday night. They can play physical, but, I mean, really the only threat on offense I saw was Konecny. I mean, they're there to stick their nose in things. You know, Michkov is going to make things difficult for people. He's a pest. He literally is just a little shit on skates. Like
Brad Marchand.
yeah, I mean, Tortorella's got him trending in the right direction. They love to play physical, and if you can play physical with some of these better teams, you're going to beat a lot of them. But I just don't. I mean, I had no fucking clue who their goalie was. Now, he played Columbus, so it doesn't really give me a great gauge on things. But I think they're pretenders. I don't think they're ready yet. I think they're a few offensive pieces away from getting into that contenders category, and I think it's going to take them a couple years to find those offensive pieces.
Bobby, I know we're fuck Philly, but
Pretenders.
pretenders. Diener,
Same.
pretenders. I saw you doing this earlier. I figured you were.
Yeah. The only team I like in Philly are the Eagles, baby. Let's go.
Yep. Chance.
Pretenders, they don't have the offensive firepower, but their play style matches up for a 7-game series. It's just a matter of getting there, which they can't.
The other thing
Got
for
it.
them, too, is if they do find a way to make it and they go 7, they're so young. How are those guys?
They're so physical, though.
Playoff series.
They're so physical. They remind me of Florida. They'll just wear you down, so if it does go 7, you have nothing left.
Yeah.
On to the New York Rangers. They just traded their captain away. They're 15-13 with 2 overtime losses. Igor just signed that massive contract, plus 2 differential. They're kind of a 500 team as of late. Dean, New York Rangers.
Can't trade away a captain.
They do it the most in the NHL, though.
They do.
I know. God, this could be a toss-up. I'm going to say they're a bunch of pretenders. on this one.
Pretenders in New York. All right. I like it. Bobby, what about you, buddy?
I gotta say they're contenders because it seems like every year they're kind of around and they're there.
Jason?
Not this year, Bobby.
I mean, right
I
now,
hope, believe me, I wouldn't be mad if they aren't.
right now, I think they're kind of in the same conversation as what we're talking about with Boston. I think they're just kind of a sleeping giant waiting for that one spark. They just got so much talent on that team. I mean, their offensive firepower just really hasn't clicked yet. I think once it clicks, they're going to be right there fighting for the East bid to the Cup. I got them as contenders.
Chance, what about you, buddy?
Contenders. Igor can single-handedly win a series himself.
He did it almost 3 times last year. Yeah. He was the reason they went that far.
All it takes is they do need to get hot. Kreider and Zibanejad have had their worst start to a year in their careers. So they definitely need to get going. So, yeah, if they get in, Igor can single-handedly carry them to the Cup.
I mean, all it takes for a team with that much offensive firepower is one game to wake the beast.
Yeah.
All right, real quick. Chance, can Keyshawn stop holding people? Jesus Christ. That's the second one this drive. All right, another one. The Pittsburgh Penguins, 13-14 with 5 overtime losses. They have a negative 24 differential, but they are 6-4 in their last 10. Bobby, your boys, are your boys contenders or
they're pretenders this year.
Oh, really?
They have no goaltending.
Yeah, I think
Here's
it's
the
pretenders.
Jarry
you guys-
baby.
They have no goaltending whatsoever.
Are you guys going shopping at the trade deadline? You guys buying, selling?
You guys, sellers.
I think sell.
Sell and
You gotta
restart?
you gotta try to get some salary cap.
And you got to try to get younger.
You gotta try to get picks.
I
mean, I'm all
4th oldest team in
I'm at
hockey
the-
right now, I think.
I'm at the mindset where anybody but Sidney Crosby's fair game.
Jason, what about you?
I think they're pretenders. I mean, they, like Bobby said, no goaltending. The fact that they keep throwing Jarry out there and expecting different results, it's getting old.
It's
I know
painful to
I made
watch
the
it.
joke, I think, a couple weeks ago. Columbus played Pittsburgh, and I saw Jarry was playing. I texted Bobby right away. I said, "Hey, thank you for starting Jarry tonight." And his response was, "Fuck off." But the defense can only do so much. Their defensive play hasn't been great, but it hasn't been bad, like really bad. I just think when your defense has zero trust in a goaltender behind them, it's going to make them press a little bit more to make that play. And
Which
watching
leads to more
Pittsburgh, I
mistakes.
feel like that's the case a lot of the times. They don't trust the guy in net, and they're having to sell out to try to make these big time plays, and they're whiffing on them, and it's just leaving the goaltender in a bad spot.
Mm-hmm. Dana, what about you, buddy?
Hey, Bobby's the big fan of the Pittsburgh Penguins, so whatever he says, I go with. That's all I gotta say on that.
That's a good answer. Chance, what about you, man?
Pretenders.
Tenders all the way.
Go
All
down.
right. Finally out of the.
Hey.
Why'd he run it out? I mean, all right.
Yeah, that's what I'm
take it.
saying. Go down.
He almost got it the last time. He got it this time. Let's go. Hell yeah. All right. Anyway, a team that I don't think nobody thought would be where they are right now. They are tops the NHL currently in points. The Washington Capitals, 21-6 with 2 overtime losses. It's a complete flip. They're plus 38 in goal differential. They've won 4 straight. They're 8-1-1 in their last 10 without their captain. 10 straight wins on the road. Franchise record. Chance, contenders or pretenders?
Contenders.
Contenders? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I remember you saying last week they got it. They're physical, but they keep it up?
Yeah. Honestly, obviously they should get in. Usually, if you're in a playoff spot by Thanksgiving, you're usually in, let alone leading the NHL in points.
Yep.
But it just depends on how healthy
Billy, they might want
Ovi
to
is.
fall off because President's Cup winners haven't fared well.
Yeah, I know.
You might want them to kind of fade off a little bit.
When's Ovi supposed to come
Yeah.
back?
A week or two, actually, because he's already at team practices. He's practicing with
How
the
many
team
goals away is he?
full tilt. He's not holding back. 29,
29? Okay.
something like that. I don't know. He's around that range. Yeah, he's around 20 or 30.
Here's a scenario for you. Game 82. Washington goes to Pittsburgh. Imagine if Ovi breaks the record there. Everything comes full circle.
If there's even a hint of that happening, Bobby, I'll be seeing you in Pittsburgh. We going to that game.
Okay.
I will drop some dollars
Also,
to go to
here's a
that
crazy
game. I don't care if I'm
scenario,
sitting in.
We don't have to. You'll be able to sit upper bowl probably $40.
Here's also a wild scenario. Let's say he breaks the record in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh wins that game, gets the last seed in the East, just to face Washington first round to just bounce them out.
They do not want to. Washington.
You saw that thing on Twitter too, huh?
Playoffs.
You saw that Twitter post too, huh? There was a Twitter post that was talking a lot about that. It was like, what if the Pittsburgh Penguins just go and just make a run just get in last day of the year? You have the top seeded Capitals, President's Trophy, the whole deal, and first round Game 7, the Pittsburgh Penguins take them 7 and bump them out in overtime. I was like, can we not just? It is December. Let us not put that kind of negativity in out there right now, because it could and probably would happen. That's the problem.
If that would happen, if the Penguins sneak in and beat Washington, they're winning the cup. That's how it's always been, Billy.
Yeah, this is why I don't want it to happen.
The Pittsburgh-Washington series, the winner of that has won the cup each time they've played.
Bobby, what about you? The Capitals, a team who you respect and don't like at the same time.
I think they're contenders. I mean, it's hard to argue with how good they've looked.
Dana, what about you?
Okay, boys. Sorry, but I got school in the morning. But this is going to be my last pick. Capitals. I love my dude Ovechkin. I think he's a fucking great guy. He is going to break the record, and they're contenders, and I'm rooting for them, and I'm with you. If they're playing in Pittsburgh, I'm going.
I'm going to that.
Yeah, that's going to be sick. But yeah, I definitely think that they're contenders. Also, little side note, spring break this past year went down to South Carolina. That's where the Capitals ECHL team plays.
Mm-hmm.
They're the Stingrays.
Yep. What a name.
They love their hockey down there.
They do.
What a name.
So, give me Capitals all the way. Might be my second favorite team. So, definitely rooting for them to go. But I will say this: I have 1% battery, so if I get cut out, that's on me. But I appreciate you guys letting me join the podcast tonight.
Absolutely, brother.
It's been great. Yeah, if you guys need more content later on the road, just let me know.
Oh, buddy, you might have to be on next coming up soon, but hell yeah, go get some rest, brother. Have fun at school tomorrow.
Right,
thank you for joining.
Love to have you on again, Dean.
Love you.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely,
definitely,
brother. Appreciate you.
You're on again.
Yep,
Absolutely.
Yep.
Thank you.
Love you. Bye.
Hell yeah. So big shout out, Diener. That is the boy Diener. Big Bearcats fan. Bearcats baby all the way for that man. Appreciate
One of
him
the
always.
greatest beards I've ever
Oh,
seen.
what a phenomenal beard. All right. Jason, to you, Washington Capitals.
I mean, right now, I think the big thing is going to be, the older guys have really played well. The veteran guys have played really well to start. The key is going to be finding the younger guys that can step up and kind of complement them later in the year. They've been able to do it so far this year, but again, you've got to have the young guys that can step up and play at a high level to help these older guys later in the year.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the key for them. Which of these younger guys, I mean, Sonny Milano has been okay.
He hadn't really played that much as of late.
Yeah. I mean, until you can find those guys to step up, it's going to be tough to make a run. Because obviously when you get to the playoffs, it takes everybody. You can't just bank on Ovechkin. You can't just bank on – isn't Kuznetsov still there?
No. He went down to Carolina. I think he's in Tampa this year.
But, they've had some older guys. I know Lars Eller got sent back there.
Yes, he did.
So, we'll have to see what the younger guys do. I think they're contenders right now because of the way that they've played. It's hard to discredit that as much as I fucking hate the Capitals and don't want to see Ovechkin break that record. But
does Ovechkin break the record and just retire?
He is retiring when his contract is up with the Capitals, which is in 2026. So after next season, he's done. No matter what happens, he's done. So we have a season and a half left of Alex Ovechkin in the NHL as a player. I agree with what a lot you're saying, especially Jason. That's definitely a thing for the Capitals because I think the young guys you're looking at, Duchesne, who's had a great start to the season. You're looking at Dylan Strome, who's top 5 in assists but can be lethal in scoring. And then Connor McMichael, who's all of a sudden he's become a goal scorer right before your very eyes. Guys like that we're definitely leaning on to help guys like Carlson, Wilson, Ovechkin when he comes back. Pierre-Luc Dubois is not a young cat either. He's a vet for sure. So
Ovechkin should be plenty rested when he comes back.
Yes, yeah, he should be right as rain. Yeah. Hopefully he takes off, doesn't miss. That's the only question is when he comes back, is he going to miss a beat? Because he was firing on all 8. You know what I mean? Before he got hurt, and all of a sudden you get hurt, it's like, do you come back? Are you firing on all 8, or are you struggling a bit out the gate? Right? He's not 25, right? He's not one of these younger guys. He's 39 years old, right? He's not young. So a knee injury in the game of hockey on a 39-year-old. I'm not saying he's not absolutely jocked and just ready to rock and roll, but you don't know until you get in a game. Nothing can replace a game in a packed barn, in front of 20,000 screaming, whether it's a road game or a home game, So, we'll see.
The key is you've got to find the guys that complement your star players. I mean, when Ovi comes back and they find that young guy that can kind of play with him and learn from him and continue to, help him put up numbers. Because right now he's putting up, when he was healthy, he was putting up numbers, but you didn't really have that young guy helping him out.
Yep.
So I think the key is going to be trying to find that young guy while he's out because it gives you more of an opportunity to play these guys and figure out what you've got. I think that's the huge thing right now for Washington. You've got to figure out what you've got young guy wise, and you can't just coast through this. Yeah, it's going to be awesome getting Ovi back. You're going to love having him back. He's going to be great. You're going to have your guy back, but you've got to find the role players around him. If you can't find those role players around him, you can kiss your, high seed goodbye and you're going to be sitting there wondering at the end of the year, what the fuck did we do to screw this up so bad? I really think that's the way they've got to look at it at this point, because there's not much else they can do to improve their standing. Obviously, if the playoffs started today, they'd be the number 1 seed. So you've just got to find guys to put around, the veteran guys who have proven we're not done yet.
And I think another thing, and I think this is what honestly has carried us even more, the freaking goaltending. Logan Thompson, I mean, gets shipped from Vegas over here. A lot of people thought he might be, kind of on the decline, or at least a little overrated. He has been one of the top goalies in all of NHL this year. The third period alone, he has a 97.5 percentile in terms of saves. Like, that's absurd. You don't see that very often. He just takes his game to another level. 11, he only has 1 loss on the season outright. He has the 2 overtime losses. Yeah, that's pass interference. Yes, sir. Let's go, Chance. Need that. But I mean, Charlie Lindgren hasn't played his best hockey this year in terms of goaltending, but he was a big reason why the Capitals were even there last year. I think you can agree, Chance, right? So I think the biggest reason is goaltending. Yeah, Chucky Sideburns. Yeah, he threw the puck in our own net about a week and a half ago. That was like, all right, Jesus. But I think the goaltending. Chance, what are your thoughts? Logan Thompson having a kind of a career season in Washington after being traded. I don't know if Chance heard us. He's locked in. Anyway, on to the next team, the Minnesota Wild. They're having a wild start. They're 20 wins, 6 losses, and 4 overtime losses. They're plus 19. Jason, second in the Central. What are your thoughts? Pretenders or contenders?
Sorry, I missed the team name.
Minnesota Wild.
The Wild.
Yeah.
I mean, they've
Fleury, Swan Song.
To watch. I've always loved watching the Wild. I think they play a fun brand of hockey, and I think they play.
Fleury's green and yellow pads are tough.
Yeah. It's still tough to beat Fleury. He's proven that this year. It's tough to beat Fleury when he plays.
Yep.
He's going to go down as one of the greatest goaltenders of all time.
Yeah. Flower.
The question's going to be down the stretch, can they keep up this pace that they play? They play a faster physical pace with a pretty good forecheck, leading into, those defensive zone turnover or offensive zone turnovers. Can they keep that up and continue to put pressure on teams? When I've seen them in the past, their play style really hasn't changed. They put a lot of pressure on teams. They force a lot of turnovers. They put themselves in good situations. That's a tough brand of hockey to play against. They haven't really had the guys to finish it off. I think they're finally finding guys that can finish off those situations, and it's paying off for them. So continuing to build on that, continuing to capitalize on opportunities is going to be the big thing. Because they, in the last few years, again, same play style, but they failed to capitalize on those opportunities. They're doing it this year, but you got to keep it going. You got to keep finishing opportunities when you get them. They don't come very often in the NHL, and you've got to capitalize. Yeah. Do they have a fall off in capitalizing? That's going to be the big question going down the stretch. I think they're contenders all the way. I think the brand of hockey they play is very hard to play against.
Bobby, what about you, buddy?
I think they're contenders. I mean, I think the way Kaprizov's improved his game this year, he's been phenomenal. I mean, I don't think anybody can argue with how good he's been for them.
He's been, in his last season, he's been amazing.
I mean, I think it's what everybody kind of expected after the year he had last year. He finally had that year that everybody's been expecting him to have, and this year it bled right over. You know, if
Yeah.
he can continue that, this team's going to be a very, very tough team to play come, the end of the year. Come game 80, nobody's going to want to play this team if they're fighting for a spot because they know they're not going to give in. It's not going to be an easy fight, and you're going to have to grind to get into that playoff spot when you play them.
Yeah. Chance, you there, bud?
Yeah, it's halftime. I gotta charge my phone.
Minnesota Wild.
Contenders.
Contenders today? All right.
Yeah, no question.
Okay. All right. The first year Utah Hockey Club, 14-11 with, I think it says three overtime losses. It might be 5. Can't read my damn handwriting right now. With a +3 differential. Bobby, what brand new team?
It's the same team as the Coyotes. That's the only thing that, like,
It is,
makes
but
me
new
kinda-
ownership, new GM, new fan base that's been packing out that barn the entire season.
I honestly think they could be contenders. They're playing a different style of hockey than Arizona did.
Mm-hmm.
They look a lot better. And I think being able to ride a fan base kind of gives you that little bit of boost you want.
Yep.
Then,
And
like
this
you
team's
said,
extremely young.
they're playing in a packed arena. They're not playing in an arena that holds, 5,000?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're playing in the Utah Jazz's stadium or arena until their arena's built. But yeah, I mean, and they're young. Chance, we say it all the time. A young team with a crowd and a fan base that just has their back when they haven't experienced that before.
Logan Cooley could come into his own. I think he's going to be a top 10 player in the league.
Yeah, he has the ceiling for him is high, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Chance, the Utah Hockey Club. We both picked them to get into they're pretenders, really.
Yeah, they're pretenders. I mean, they can win a series, but I don't think it's sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I'm wrong, but they first got to get in.
That's very true. Jason.
I mean, it's tough because, like Bobby said, it's still all the same guys from Arizona. They're so young. They're finding their stride as the season goes on, but I still don't think they have the goaltending to compete.
Okay.
I still think they've got to find their number one goalie, and then maybe we can talk about them as contenders, but I got them as pretenders.
All right. And Chance's St. Louis Blues.
Pretenders.
Going into did they lose today or did they win?
No, we beat the Rangers.
So they are now 15-14 and with 3 overtime losses. Going into today, their differential was -15. I'm sure that is definitely obviously changed. Bobby, St. Louis Blues.
What'd Chance say? Pretender?
Yeah.
Yes.
Chance is hoping that they're pretenders.
I have to agree with Chance. I haven't watched any of St. Louis, so I can't really form a very good opinion. So I'm going to trust Chance on this one.
All right. Jason?
I think the big thing for St. Louis is they still really haven't found their identity yet. It's tough to win hockey games consistently and be a contender when you don't even know your own identity. I think they're a team that it's just going to take time. I think it's going to take a couple of years till they're back up there, and I think, if you're a Blues fan, yeah, you don't want them to go out and lose. You want to see them win. But at the same time, it may be worth it to go out and get a high draft pick, bring in some young guys that you can kind of build around and try to build this identity. Since obviously you haven't been able to do that this year.
Yeah.
If you can bring in young guns to help build an identity, you're going to be good for a while. And that's what a lot of these good teams have done, is they've been able to keep their identity consistent with the guys that they brought in.
Chance, following what he just said there, in terms of identity, I think there can be multiple kinds of identity. It can be culture in the locker room that you're building. It can be what you're trying to build in terms of like, what kind of a team you're trying to build or play style that you have. How is it important to have all three kind of figured out, or can you get away with having like one of those three or two of those three figured out in the league of NHL? Like how much figured out do you have to have? Do you have to have the culture? Okay.
And I mean, the other thing we got to realize with St. Louis here is they're still adjusting because they did go through a mid-season coaching change early in the year. So you go through camp thinking one way, and now you've got to turn around and do something, completely different with the way that, this new coach wants you to play. That's not easy to do at all.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to another team who's really done really, really well. Los Angeles Kings. They're 18-9 with 3 overtime losses, plus 16 differential. Chance, the Kings, second seed in the Pacific. Contenders for sure. All right. Bobby, the Kings, Los Angeles, LA.
I think they're contenders.
Contenders for sure. Jason?
I think one of the big things when you look at LA, when they start the year hot, they usually finish the year hot. Obviously, different teams, this isn't the Anze Kopitar Kings, that we're used to. But I think that the Kings are a team to look out for. I think they're going to try to make a run because I think they have the pieces. I haven't had a whole lot of a chance to sit and watch them yet.
Yeah, their games do start at 10:30.
It's hard to watch some of these West Coast teams as much as we
they
might
start at
want
like
to.
10:30. Like golly. Calgary Flames started off hot, have kind of fallen off. 15-11 with 5 overtime losses, minus 11 on the differential. Chance? Calgary. Pretenders. Okay.
I think they're kind of silly when you look at it. They're just a bunch of guys that are going to be pests. They're going to annoy you to death. They're going to throw, they're going to fight when they need to. But again, they don't have that offensive guy right now.
Gotcha. Bobby?
I have to agree. I agree with Cross on this one. I think they're 1 or 2 pieces away from being good. But right now, I don't think they're at the point where we could say contender.
Gotcha.
But, they get those 1 or 2 pieces. Who knows? The sky's the limit, really.
Mm-hmm. All right. And a team that's kind of been up and down, kind of mid for the last couple of seasons, but could potentially make a run for a postseason. Seattle Kraken, 15-15 with 2 overtime. Have a +9 differential. They have what can be a high-powered offense at times, but sometimes go cold as ice. Chance, the Seattle Kraken. Pretenders all the way? Okay. Bobby?
Pretenders.
And Jason?
I think they're pretenders. They don't have what they've had the last few years. I think they're still trying to build a little bit more. I got to go pretenders as well.
All right. Anything else on the ice before we go back in between the sticks?
What's everyone's thoughts on Colorado?
I think they're contenders. I think they have the pieces. They're just,
I think
they have to stay healthy.
Yeah.
I think the goalie move was big to get rid of Georgiev.
Yeah, 37 saves in his debut. Like that's.
I went on Tuesday night when they played the Penguins. Just the speed they play at is going to be hard to match.
Hey, by the way,
the skill that Colorado has is
absurd. And now if they get a goaltender, they could take off. Big news coming out of the college world. Kind of big news. I know it's not their actual quarterback, but backup quarterback for Penn State set to enter the transfer portal and leave team ahead of the December 21 college football game against SMU. So, God forbid something happens to their starter. They do not have their their, I guess, big time backup that is supposed to be their future. That's kind of big, Jason.
Been playing hurt for most of the year too. So.
Yeah, but that's kind of big. That's kind of the a distraction your team doesn't need ahead of the biggest game of the season.
When do they play? Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
Well, granted, it sucks, but the positive thing to look at is you have a week to get whoever this next in line is kind of a little bit more familiar. Maybe take some first team reps instead of working strictly scout team.
Yep. Maybe a little package deal that you didn't think you had before.
Yeah.
With the other quarterback.
Just get him comfortable. You have a week to get him comfortable.
Yep. Just in case. So that's kind of big news.
Since this news just came out, I would imagine that third string quarterback just got a phone call from James Franklin saying, "Look, man."
Yep. Be at practice early tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right. To the NFL. Packers are playing right now. The Seahawks. It's 20-3 Green Bay at halftime. But let's go to Thursday. Two teams that scored over 30 points. The Rams dropped 44. The Niners dropped 38. Didn't score a single touchdown.
Typical Thursday night game. Usually the worst game of the week.
Yep. Didn't score a singular touchdown. The Niners.
Chance is spot on. Stafford's going to find a way to win that division.
Yep. Rams win 12-6 on the road. Big win against the Niners. Niners, if they lose this weekend, they're out of the playoffs. The team that was heavily favored to go back to the Super Bowl this year is one loss away. Hell, even if they win out, they could potentially not make it in because of tiebreakers. It just depends. Lamar scores 5 touchdowns, 290 yards, only has 4 incompletions on the day against the bum-ass Giants. 35-14. Yeah.
There's really not much to talk about that game.
Yeah. The Jets, Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams had a vintage game. Devontae had 198
just the second
yards.
Half.
Yeah, just
in the second half. He went 0
yards.
catches, 0 yards in the first half.
Yeah. All in the second half, 2 touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers, hat trick. I want to ask you guys this question. Now, I know we're not all in the situation of our teams just not having the best of years. Bobby, you, me, and Chance are fortunate enough. Our teams are having great seasons. Jason on the other side of that stick this season. When a team is not lit, because the Jets, we picked the Jets to potentially win the division. We sat here for 35 minutes and said, we sat here for 30 minutes and said, hey, the Jets can win this division. There's a chance.
Well, if we're being honest, when we did that, I did not expect Josh Allen to kind of turn McDonald's into 5-star gourmet.
Yeah, what he's done is incredible.
If you say anybody else is MVP but Josh Allen, you're wrong.
Well, they picked Travis Hunter for the Heisman, so different committee, but still. Anywho,
but really, there wasn't a deserving quarterback because typically all these awards are quarterback awards.
Yeah, for sure. But these kinds of games where your quarterback seemingly is starting to figure it out, because he had a great game last week too. They just fell short. He's finding that that seemingly the connection with the receivers. They're kind of starting to piece it together. How big is that when you're having a terrible season? How big is it towards the end of the year to start finding a rhythm, finding your offense? Like, okay, how big is that going into the off season? How much hope does that give you going into the next season, right? Chance, I'll start with you. I know Packers fans haven't really had to necessarily deal with that much, which is great. This is awesome. We've been very spoiled. But your team's having a down year, but you finish on a high. How big is that going into next year? Like, hey, we get a couple pieces here, we put this together, like this can be, really something. Yes.
Yeah.
It's very true. Mm-hmm. Jason, what about you, buddy?
I mean, if you can carry momentum from anything, it's huge, right? But the problem is right now there's so much turmoil around your quarterback, it's hard to build any momentum.
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of the issue right now, You've got to figure it out offensively and figure out, why the hell isn't this working the way we wanted it to work? Is it a schematic thing? Is it just the quarterback? I mean, honestly, right now it leads me to believe that it is the quarterback.
All right. Bobby, what about you, buddy?
I mean, I agree. I agree with Chance a little bit too. I've heard the reports that he's playing for his job.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Devontae's situation's a little different because I think there's 31 other NFL teams that would love to have Devontae Adams on their team.
Yeah.
Where maybe I don't think there's as many teams that would want Aaron Rodgers at this point of his career.
Yeah.
But I'm also at
the
point where if Rodgers does leave, you're not keeping Devontae. He's going to leave.
Yeah. He wanted to be there because of Aaron Rodgers. All right. I just wanted to see what y'all thought. Panthers lose big to the Cowboys 30-14. Rico Dowdle had 25 carries, 149 yards, had himself a day. The Commanders hold on barely. Saints failed the last second 2-point conversion to take the lead. That would have given them the win. Commanders win 20-19.
I still think you kick the extra point and take your chances.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I saw that too. It was weird. Yeah. It was a weird thing, but Commanders hold on 2019 regardless. The Bengals win by 10, 37-27. It was a sloppy game all around. But Joe Burrow sets franchise record with 36 touchdowns. Boys, he has 36 touchdowns and no one's close.
If their record was flip-flopped, he's your unanimous MVP.
Oh, 100%. 100%. It's crazy.
Joe Burrow still could get MVP votes with as bad as because the Bengals' record is not on him. It's on their defense.
No, absolutely not. The Chiefs beat the Browns today. Go ahead. With a late push, he might get it. There might be some conversations. Yeah, Yeah. Chiefs win 21-7. Mahomes leaves late with ankle injury, negative on the X-rays for him. The Chiefs have not
carted out of the locker room after the game.
Yeah. Yeah, the Chiefs have not scored 30 points this year. They're the only playoff team to not do so. Nice sack, boys.
Because did anybody else see the stat on Twitter? It showed everything that's happened in each game where they should be 5-8?
5-8 right now. That is what they should be. It would obviously, after the win today, be 6-8, but that's not here or there.
There's two obvious games they should have lost.
Yes.
With the bullshit the non-pass interference against Atlanta.
And then the pinky toe.
And then the Bengals, the 4th and 15 pass interference call to get the Chiefs a first down into field goal range.
The Texans win 20-12.
That was an ugly game both ways.
Yeah, and by the way, Grant, he's in stable condition. There was news.
That's good.
He's staying. He's going to probably stay for a couple days. Seeing a jersey being ripped off a player who's down is never.
No.
Very scary today. Yeah, very scary situation today. Never some. Yeah, never a situation you want to see. But according to the medical people in the Houston hospital, he's stable, he's breathing, he's
That's
you know
good.
in he's good. I don't know if he's like awake or whatever, but he's stable. That might be his face. That might be a face mask. Yep, that's a face mask. God damn it.
They
The
missed it?
Broncos. Yeah. Wow, they got him for holding. They didn't get him face mask. Oh, we got away
Wow.
with one there. We got away with one. The Broncos, boys. The Broncos are 9-5
Yeah.
in the hunt for a playoff spot in a rebuild year.
Bo Nix is
Holy-
making that push for Rookie of the Year.
He is. They beat the Colts today. The Colts look like a dumpster fire today.
The trick
31 to
play
15
really
win.
backfired on the Colts.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah,
did
Chance is just happy about that.
Jonathan Taylor dropping the ball before he gets in the end zone.
Yeah. Yeah, that.
I don't know. What are we doing? Cardinals. They beat the Patriots today, 30-17, keeping the hunt. The Bills beat the Lions, and there was exactly probably 0 defense played, 48-42.
Yeah. Felt like I was watching a Pac-12 game.
Yeah, that's 2 weeks straight in a Bills game that there have been 40 points scored and allowed. So yeah. Yeah, a little bit. The Bucks rout the Chargers 40-17, and then Bobby, I know this one hurt a little bit. The Eagles win their 10th straight.
I'll be honest,
27-13.
I fully expected that game to go that way.
Why is that?
Philly just out-physicaled us both sides of the ball.
Which are words
I mean,
you
Philly
do
came
not
out-
necessarily hear often.
Philly came out early with the punch in the mouth. The Steelers forced 2 turnovers and can only manage a field goal. That's another one that hurts.
That's a killer, yeah. Apparently,
Man, I'm
Russ
just-
didn't look all that great today.
Now Russ looked god awful. We could
Yeah, but-
never get the run game going.
hmm
Yeah.
I know he's a diva and he's a pain in the ass to deal with, but I mean he opens up a lot in that offense. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're seeing it in Philadelphia. So, yeah,
Now
All right.
it's just hope that TJ Watt just got a stinger and they sat him for the rest of the game because
yeah, they say
he'll be fine.
He'll play.
Fly him back to Wisconsin, let him dip his foot in the ice-covered lake again. He'll be good to go.
Yep.
Just put JJ
Um,
Watt in his uniform and send him out there. Yeah. JJ's just about 40 pounds of just pure muscle bigger.
Yep, that's fine.
Just put the blacked out visor on, you won't know.
You won't tell a thing. All right, let's go to week 16.
We can clinch the division though with the win next week in Baltimore. This coming week
Yes,
in
you can.
Baltimore.
Yes, you can. The division is on the line. We will get to that here in a second. All right, Thursday night.
I will
The Los
donate my
Angeles-
hamstring to George Pickens.
The Los Angeles Chargers are at home against the Denver Broncos. Boys, this is for like second place in the division.
It's for,
This is-
I mean, right now I believe they're both wild card teams right now.
Yeah, Denver can clinch a
Yeah.
playoff seed with a win in LA. That's crazy.
I think
Bobby,
the
who wins
Steelers
it?
actually clinched a playoff game today
Yeah, they're in. Yeah, they're in.
because we will have the tiebreaker beating Denver and LA.
Yes, you're in. You're good. You're in. 10 wins would have gotten you in anyway, regardless. I think so. I wasn't even worried. As soon as I see a team with 10 wins, all right, they clinched.
Yeah, but I want the division because I want that home playoff game.
Absolutely. Who's winning? The Chargers
Honestly-
or the Broncos?
Chargers look bad today. They did.
They look terrible.
Grant, I mean,
Where's my dad
they're
doing
deep.
the cat?
now it's hard to. Baker picked that defense apart, but I classify Baker as in that top tier of quarterbacks. I think Bo Nix could have a field day with that secondary. I really do. I think Denver's going to win.
All right. Broncos for Bobby. Sorry, my father has decided to take the 2 cats out in the snow with leashes on and have them go run around in the snow. And I can hear him meowing outside my window right now. Yeah, I know. Oh, dude, do you want to see what I get to wake up with real quick? Like, this is fuck. I don't know how to turn
I don't want to
the
see
camera
the cats running around in the snow.
So I get to wake up with Grinch's ass in my window right there. So that's Grinch's ass.
That's name's Grinch?
No, we have an actual Grinch blow
Wait,
up out
show
there.
that again?
That's the Grinch blow up we have. It's like 20 feet tall. And I have to wake up with his ass in my window. And then I get to wake up with creepy ass fucking Rudolph the reindeer smiling in my window. That's what I get to wake up to every fucking. And he doesn't turn it off. Like, it stays on. So I get to wake up like in the middle of the night to go to take a piss in the bathroom, and there's just Rudolph.
And just Rudolph's eyes just
staring at me.
Staring in your room.
Santa knows when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake.
Yeah, that's just creepy as fuck. And I found out today he does it on purpose. It's great. Chance. Chargers or Broncos? It's hard not to ride the hot hand of the Broncos. I'm going to go the Broncos. Jason, this game could potentially put a team in the postseason that we didn't think would be there, but could be kind of an answer from the Chargers to kind of make their claim for a playoff. What do you got on this one?
With the way that LA's played, they've been so wishy-washy, right? Today wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. I think with the way that Denver's playing, they found what works for them, and they continue to ride that hand, and I think they're going to beat LA this week and get in the playoffs. And I think they're going to be a team that people don't want to face in the playoffs.
Yeah, that is the perfect example of a young team buying in, I think.
And then
I think
they'll get about $38 million cap space to start next year.
Yeah, I know. Like, that's crazy. What's my phone at?
So look out for Denver.
Yeah. Look out for Denver next year. Saturday, 1:00 game. Touch the football, please. Jesus. Kansas City Chiefs are home against the Houston Texans. Bobby.
If Mahomes doesn't play, Carson Wentz, I don't think gets the job done. If Mahomes plays, I think the Chiefs win.
Okay, what do you want me to write down for now?
Give me the Chiefs right now, and I'll look back at this later in the week. I mean, because let's be honest, Billy. Do any of us put faith in Carson Wentz?
Yeah. Give it to him once.
That 2017 Carson Wentz, I would trust. That dude was insane. That's true. He could flash back to that.
Or he could sprain both his ankles in one play.
Shout out to Carson Wentz, though, on their team's off day. Mad respect. Takes 2 dudes from the Chiefs duck hunting. Love it.
Yeah. All right, I'll be right back. I can't hold this anymore. I'll be right back. For fuck's sake.
Chance, these all-white uniforms they're pretty badass, honestly. The Seahawks highlighter unis are cool, though, too. Yeah, this is a great uniform battle. Yeah. See, now, if it was a night game at home, you could have pulled a Penn State and did a whiteout. Or you wear them like big games, like you play don't they play the Lions to end the year? Oh, man, never mind. I wouldn't bust out whites for the Bears.
All right, I'm back. Here we go. Chance.
Yeah,
Chiefs.
Here we go.
Chiefs against Texans. Chiefs. Okay. Yeah, but the Chiefs don't look much better. I'm gonna go Texans in a shocker.
Nico Collins found his groove again today, so that could
He
be
did.
dangerous.
And I'm sorry, but the Chiefs keep winning these close games. You can't win those close games forever. It's going to come up and bite you in the ass. It's just how it works. Jason.
Jeez. I mean, the Texans just don't look great.
Now,
Bad day for Mixon today.
Texans going for their 10th win could find themselves, obviously the division is pretty much theirs at this point. I think a win seals it.
Yeah, I think
Pretty
if
sure.
Indy would have won today, they could have had a shot.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure a win against Kansas City could potentially, so they're riding that. Oh, my apologies. This is not the Sunday slate. This is the Saturday slate. We got our first batch of
Gino's limping.
Saturday
Gino
games.
is down.
Gino is down. You were right. Oh, man, he hit him low. That's why.
Ooh, right in the ankle.
And a no call. You're not really supposed to allowed to hit like that, too.
Oh, it got stuck under him. Yeah, that was an intentional hit.
Yeah.
He was trying to not hit him. Then Gino's ankle just gets stuck.
And he jumped, too, when he was going at it. That would have been a kind of a normal tackle had Gino not jumped. Yep.
Sam Howell had a Jameis Winston season last year. 3,900 yards, 21 touchdowns, 21 picks.
Yep, that sounds about right. All right. The other Saturday afternoon game. Baltimore Ravens at home against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes.
Is this the last week with 2 Monday games?
Yeah,
Thank
this
God.
week is. Yeah.
They couldn't have picked 2 shittier games, too.
Yeah. Sam Howell, what a guy. Look at him.
Jesus.
Bounty Gate.
Bobby, I got your Steelers.
Yep. I am a little nervous if TJ Watt doesn't play, though.
Okay.
The
Chance
only
to
positive
you.
thing to that is Herbig slides right into that spot.
It is in
Yeah.
Baltimore. I don't know.
Hopefully.
What do you want me to write down? I am going to go Pittsburgh because Lamar can't just seem to get over the hump of beating Pittsburgh, whether at home or on the road. Jason.
They did lose in Baltimore last year to one Mason Rudolph, and look what he's been doing this year.
Yep. Jason.
I'm going
Sorry.
Baltimore. I think even if Watt and Pickens play, I think Baltimore has too much in the run game. I know that, Pittsburgh obviously has one of the best defensive lines in football, but I just think when you go up against Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson, it's too much to stop. In Baltimore, I think it's going to be a tough game with the division on the line. They're going to come out ready to go.
Sunday.
What movie is this? That's what it looked like.
All right. So I'm going to put us all down for Buffalo beating the brakes off New England Patriots.
Yeah.
We all good for that? Okay.
Yeah, Josh Allen might have 5 touchdowns.
Potentially.
Dude, so funny story here regarding fantasy football, okay? So in the one league I'm in, playing in the playoffs, dude on his bench left Baker and Josh Allen putting his faith in Sam Darnold.
Buddy. Well, hey, you never know. The Jets are at home against the Los Angeles Rams. I'm assuming you two are going Rams.
Yep. Stafford will find a way to win. It may not be pretty.
I'm going to go Jets. It has. But the Rams hasn't been much better. I'm going to take the Jets. I'm going to be different. I'm going to take the Jets on this one. Jason?
I mean, we don't really know what's going on with the Jets. I got to go Rams. We at least semi know what's going on with the Rams.
Yep. It's very true. All right. The Commanders are at home against the Eagles. Eagles could clinch the division with a W. Bobby.
Eagles.
Chance. Eagles. I will also go Philly. Commanders have not looked good the last couple of weeks. Even with the win today, they haven't looked phenomenal.
Going down to the wire against the Saints makes me worried with that.
Yeah. Jason, this game.
I mean, Washington's fighting to keep pace in the division. That's really all it is, and they got to keep themselves in the wild card hunt. But Philly also understands they win. They're the division champs, and they're really fighting
possibly the number one seed.
Yeah, they're fighting for that one seed.
Keep pace with Detroit,
and
possibly jump Detroit. I think this is going to be a really good game. I think we're really going to learn a lot about Jaden Daniels in this game. But I think when you look at it, you got
the thing I did pick up on from the game today.
Huh?
Yeah.
What I did pick up today was the few times they had the Justin Fields package in, the Eagles defense couldn't contain a mobile QB. Fields got out of the pocket every play he was in and turned it into something. So I think Jane Daniels could give that defense some trouble.
Very true. All right. Are we all picking the Falcons over the Giants?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything to add on this game, Jason?
I mean, this is it's a bad game either way, no matter whichever way you look at it.
Falcons 5 penalties for 108 yards? Holy shit.
So, it just not really a game I want to put any of my time into.
Yeah.
No.
All right, Carolina at home against Arizona. Bobby.
I'm going to take Arizona.
Chance?
So are they in a are they fighting for a wild card spot?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
7-7. Yep. Gimme Carolina. Fuck it. Gimme Carolina. Boys are riding hot. Fuck it. Gimme Carolina. Let's have some fun. Gotta turn my gotta charge my damn phone. And my phone's like. Yeah, I know.
I just leave my phone. I just leave my phone plugged in.
I'll tell you why we're not doing Discord after we're done. All right, the Bengals are at home against the Browns. Are we all picking the Bengals?
It's in Cincy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Chance? Jason, anything to add?
Yeah, I mean, Jameis may throw for 4 touchdowns, but he's going to throw for 10 interceptions.
I don't know. That Bengals defense isn't that good. He might not.
Nice throw.
I think that's the one thing that kind of separates this game. I think this is a game where even if you put your defense in bad positions, the Browns defense has proven that they give Joe Burrow fits. Burrow has never played well against the Browns. I think he's won 1 or 2 games against the Browns in his career.
Yeah. Against the AFC North, he really hasn't been phenomenal. Right? Like, he has a losing record in his entire career against. Now, I get it. Cincinnati's team hasn't really been top tier, but
even the year they went to the Super Bowl, I think he was 500 in the division.
Yeah. I don't know how you turn that into that, Jalen. Damn. All right. This might be a dumpster fire of a game. This might be shitter of the week. I'm not sure. It's tied with Atlanta and New York. The Colts are at home against the Titans. Bobby.
I'm going to take the Colts.
Chance. All right, so you're going Colts.
Chance wants his 10-piece.
You know what? I'm going to take Titans.
Fuck it. Chance's dinner is going to consist of tomorrow.
Jason. Fact.
I think there's 2 pieces of pizza in there.
There you go. Anything to add, Jason?
I mean, yeah, this is a bad game. I don't really see either team making this interesting to watch. I think Tennessee wins. I don't have a lot of stock in Indy at this point. They're just not a good football team. There's nothing to be excited about in Indy right now.
Mm-hmm.
If you're an Indy fan, do you start to question, is Richardson even your guy?
Yeah. I think you have to answer that question, right?
Like, I feel like that has to be a thought in your mind right now as an Indy fan.
Absolutely. We all have the Lions over the Chicago Bears. I'm not even going to get into that.
Revenge game for the Lions. They're going to be pissed off.
Seattle at home against the Vikings. Bobby.
The Vikings. Seattle's a dumpster fire when they play at home for whatever reason.
Yeah. Chance?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Chance? I shall take Minnesota as well. Jason, anything to add?
No, I mean, there's not much on this game other than, the pretty generic stuff.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I have found my absolute shitter game of the week. Las Vegas Raiders are at home against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, what a barn burner.
He
didn't
well.
Look bad.
Bobby, who you got?
I'm going to take Jacksonville because Max Crosby having to have surgery. That goes basically the entire Raiders defense.
Yep. Chance?
Take Jacksonville.
Yeah, I don't even know who. Yes, he is.
Puck doesn't. Yeah.
Jason, anything to add?
Worst game of the week.
Potentially worst game of the year. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. 2 teams who are fighting to stay alive in their respective conferences here. Both at 8 losses. A loss puts them out of the playoffs entirely. Miami Dolphins at home against the San Francisco 49ers. Bobby.
You said it's in Miami?
It's in Miami.
I'll take the Dolphins.
Take the Dolphins. Okay. Chance. I'm going to take the Dolphins. I kind of want to just... It's been one thing after another with that team. I just put them out of their misery. Put them out of their misery in San Fran. Just end it now.
Yep.
Give me Miami. Sunday night, the Dallas Cowboys, who are still in the hunt, they're sticking around.
I still agree with Cam Newton. We don't need to talk about the Cowboys.
Yep. They're at home against Tampa Bay.
Oh, Tampa's going to rout Dallas.
All right.
Dallas
Chance?
sucks at home.
All right. And finally, Monday night. Only need to ask one person this question. Is Green Bay Packers are at home against the New Orleans Saints, Bobby?
Next Monday?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm off Tuesday, so I'll definitely be watching that.
Hell yeah. Who you got?
I'll take Packers.
All right. Jason, anything to add?
Is it in New Orleans or in Green Bay?
It's in Green Bay. It is in the frozen tundra. Prime time,
Green Bay.
baby.
That weather could be absolutely disgusting. They said Gino's a knee injury. I thought it was his ankle.
Damn. And he fucking whacked his jaw with the helmet.
Yeah. Yeah, that.
Sorry. I should have laughed at that, but yeah, you slam your helmet down and then you look right at it, and what do you think was going to happen?
Might be concussed now.
Might be concussed too. When it rains, it pours. Jason, anything to add on this, buddy?
No.
Yeah, nice sack. Oh, went for the pin too, Chance. You see that? He went for the 1, 2, 3. Small package, baby. I love it. All right, so that's the end of the serious talk of tonight's show. Chance, time to take us into the loosey-goosey last 10 to 15 minutes of this show. Huh? Yes, he is.
He's hobbling. I don't say running.
Yeah, it's not really running. He is. Yeah, you're playing
at this point,
run, you're going to strap it up. Yep.
I feel like at this point you tell Gino, like, look, man, this one's a lost cause. Chalk it up.
Chance, on to you, buddy. Take us home. This is going to be hard for me. I hate the winter. I'll go with 3, I guess. I'll go with 3. Go with my 3 here. 3, I'll say. You go on like social media and you see pictures of places like Colorado looks beautiful when it snows. Like in the wintertime, it looks, Tennessee looks amazing in the wintertime. So like the certain places that like I want to go visit like just solely in the wintertime, just because it looks like so beautiful there and looks like so picturesque and so, stuff like that. Number 2, when I was growing up, before really like baseball took over and all that stuff, I snowboarded. So I love snowboarding. Can only do that in the wintertime. So I love snowboarding. And number one, Christmas, obviously. I mean, it's probably one of, if not the happiest time of the year, right? It's festive, everyone's cheering, presents, the whole deal, family. I understand some circumstances aren't like that, but, brings a lot of people closer together. Thanksgiving too, so the holidays for sure.
Good one.
I'm all about bringing people together. We love on this show.
Oh yeah.
We love on this podcast. Absolutely.
All right, I got an honorable mention here, Chance, if that's allowed. So it's a twofer. So it's love that we're getting to prime hockey season, and then I feel like the other best part of winter for an honorable mention here is playoff football. So I'm gonna, which again brings people together. So I'll say number 3. It's gonna revolve it's gonna kind of piggyback off of number 1, but number 3 is definitely Christmas parties. Love a good Christmas party. That'll be 3. Number 2, I'm gonna kind of go with you on this one, Billy, is the scenery, and then like activities you can only do this time of year.
Yep.
Like downtown Pittsburgh, they have it's a PPG place. They have an ice rink around the big tree. You can go skate around the tree. Again, you can only do it this time of year, obviously. And then number 1's definitely the holiday. Just you get to see family. You get to see sometimes like in our family, we have a bigger family. You might only see those people at Christmas time, at Thanksgiving. They're not people you see all the time. So I like that part. You get to catch up with people. And it's like a very laid back, well, not for Chance, but it's a very laid back time.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much all the stuff we've already said. There's nothing I would change.
Brightens your day up a little bit, Chance, huh? The little walking off the green wave, yeah. Yeah. Love going to see Christmas lights. Yep, we do that here. We do that at our zoo. And I'm also a big fan of the drive-through Christmas lights because you sit in a warm car still. Oh yeah. I take my dogs. They like to look at the lights. Shocker. Chance is a big celebrator at Christmas in July. That's true.
It's fun to drift in it. Do donuts in it.
Driving in the Pittsburgh snow's a clusterfuck with all the hills.
Yep.
Mhm.
All right. Well, let's get on out of here. We had a hell of a show this week. I want to thank you guys for joining us. I want to thank Dean for joining us. He will definitely be back.
Definitely have him back.
Catch you guys next week. It's almost Christmas time. I think we might have a Christmas special. We don't know. I don't know. Ugly sweaters next week, boys?
Maybe we do it Monday next week, because I would be willing to imagine that most of us are off Tuesday.
Yeah.
Chance, do you work Christmas Eve? Oh.
Oh, yeah, I work Christmas Eve. Facts. All right. We are out of here. Chance, send us home, buddy.